long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a dark justiciar. It's all I ever wanted. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. In order to join Lady Shah's elite, you had to pass her trials, then make a sacrifice in her innermost sanctum, one revealed only when you've proven yourself.
Do you know what I am, little assassin? For I know you. A lost child, frightened by wolves in the dark.
What did you say?
What do you know of your own heart? Your own life? I sense more in you than you know.
Whatever you think you know of me won't matter once I become who I'm meant to be.
The fate you seal is your own. To be a dark justiciar is to turn your heart from everything but loss. You will know no love, no joy, only servitude, until of course your mistress inevitably discards you.
I'm a target to Lady Shah's followers now.
Your parents both followed the Moon Maiden. I could sense their faith, even in a brief glimpse of the past.
No. It can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family? You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you.
I was part of a group sent by my cloister. We were to take the artifact from the Githyanki and bring it to Baldur's Gate, no matter the cost.
You stole that from my people.
Yes. And a lot of my people died in the process. I know my parents still live. Tell me where they are, and I have no quarrel with you.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Cinderellimouse and I'm back with Baldur's Gate 3, and today we're going to be taking care of our favourite princess, Shadowheart. But before we get into that, a few little housekeeping things. I kind of ran around off camera. I sold a load of weapons to the Harper guy that Jaheira knows. I sold some tools to the lady who deals with tools, some lockpicks and things like that I just had excessive amounts of. I also spoke to Carmen. I sold a few kind of like hats and rings and things to her, but I also took the will to her that we got from Figaro, because they're brother and sister, they had some beef, and I thought maybe because we'd seen the will there might be some extended dialogue with Carmen, but I didn't get anything to trigger. I ended up trading with her and giving her the will because it did say that a lot of the kind of jewels and things were being left to her, so I wanted to make sure that she also got to see the will and that everything was fair. And that's kind of the end of that. I'm sad there was no follow-up with that. I think it would have been cool if there was like extra dialogue. However, it is a massive game, and obviously there was a limit to how much they could do. And here we are. So what else do I want to talk about? What did we do last time? We all got blessed by the gods. So we all have, well, some of us have this anointed with splendor, which is going to give us a lovely 2+ bonus to all saving throws. Now, like I say, we're going to take care of Shadowheart today. So if I go to her thing, we have Daughter of Darkness. We have found the Sharan lookout called Ferg Dogur. He revealed that the cloister is hidden in a place called the House of Grief in the lower city of Baldur's Gate. Now in the last video we kind of like spotted some old graffiti that Shadowheart had done, so we know we're in kind of like the right location, we know we're in the right area. But let's have a bit of a recap, let's have a chat with Shadowheart and just kind of like see in her own words kind of what's going on here.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
So I'm going to say, I want to talk about all that's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How am I holding up in your estimations?
No notes. You've exceeded my every expectation. Even if I could have made it this far without you, I don't think I'd have wanted to.
Okay, lovely. So we know kind of what Shadowheart's feeling. And then I want to talk about our relationship.
Of course.
So again, we're going to get a little bit more about how she's feeling here. How are you faring?
Honestly, my heart's racing. The end's close. My parents are close. I just know it. Thank you. I'm not sure I would have ever made it this far without you.
Oh, you would have done. You're very resilient and very sneaky. Okay, so I got my white hair as well today because we're having a very white hair themed episode, which you'll see more of as it progresses. I also want to get Dirge over here to speak to Shadowheart because I've been saving some dialogue. Again, just for context, so you guys know kind of what the plan is. It's such a big game that I think, you know, it's easy to kind of like forget some of the storylines and some of the details. So these little recaps I think are just helpful, but we'll be moving on soon.
Graffiti from before. I never thought I'd see it again.
They're just like, what graffiti? Why did it stand out? Should we say something else? Because we've seen why did it stand out when Cordia spoke to her. So let's try. It didn't seem all that memorable to me. He's like, what graffiti? What are you talking about?
It was to me. I think I was the one who did it.
Rebel.
I can recognize my own handwriting. How long ago was this? Years? All the time I spent training, hidden away from the world. I think I must have wanted to leave my mark somewhere. Just to prove I existed. Even to myself.
Let's say this. And what about the night song? What Dame Aileen revealed to you? You must have been shocked. So again, when we rescued the night song, she was like, Shadowheart, I don't know if you realise this, you grew up as a Saloonite, you weren't always Sharan. You were basically kidnapped as a child from the Sharans, away from your dad, who happens to be a druid or a werewolf. He changed between wolf to man. What do you think of that?
Yes. But also no. I felt like the world had been upended. But it also made perfect sense. My parents are alive, and I have to save them. I think a part of me always knew that. A part that Shah denied to me.
Yeah, so Shah obviously takes away people's memories. You've been forced to live a lie. At least now, the truth is starting to reveal itself. And Dirge is in the same boat, pretty much, because he had his memory wiped. He didn't remember anything when he woke up on that Nautiloid. Shadowheart doesn't remember her past. A lot of her memories have been removed, but she knew she was Sharan. She knew she had to go and fetch this artifact for Shah. Dirge, on the other hand, was like, who am I? And then it turns out he's like the flesh of Baal kind of thing. So yeah, I think they have something in common there. Yeah, so you've been forced to live a lie. At least now the truth is starting to reveal itself.
Indeed. But the truth may yet prove painful. Who knows what Shah still keeps from me. We'd better press on for now, and hope we're ready when the moment comes. But before that, there's one thing I need to see to.
Okay, that line is just her doing her hair, which she's already done, so we don't have to be worried about that. So he's just going to say, do whatever you need to.
You'll see for yourself soon enough. Just leave it with me.
Okay, bye. Right, so time to head out. But before we do, a couple of other things. I bought Miss Barr some new gloves from the Harper weapons guy. So she now has the heightened maneuver. Targets have disadvantage on saving throws against your maneuver and weapon actions. She's all about maneuvers and weapons, so that's awesome. Let's see what that says. It says clothing doesn't tend to have much personality. That comes down to how it's worn. Yet these gloves exude a confidence and intangible aura of expertise. Sometimes the writing's quite tiny and I find it hard to read. I also have Jaheira on the team with me today, and it's time to level her up. It's been a while since we played with Jaheira, so I'm quite excited about this. So here we go, Druid level 11. and she gets access to some really cool spells. You've probably seen me using a lot of these already because we've got things like Sunbeam. I'm going to go ahead and switch out Planar Binding for Sunbeam. This one looks cool. It says Windwalk. Transform yourselves. I don't think I've ever used this, so I'm curious about this, but I still don't know if it's the most effective thing I can use. Maybe I'll take it. Transform yourself and all nearby party members into tiny clouds of mist to avoid attacks. You become resistant to non-magical damage, gain advantage on Constitution, Dexterity and Strength saving throws, and become tiny inside. While transformed, you won't be able to attack, cast spells or talk. So I think this is really good for escaping. I don't think it's going to come in handy today. Contagion might be interesting because I do have some poison damage stuff that I'm using with her, so I might just take that. That's a level 5 spell though. This Wall of Thorns looks quite interesting, but I have some other attacks that I could do as well. Maybe I'll take that. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of Minor Elemental and take Wall of Thorns. Although she's only going to be able to do one high level spell, and I might do Sunbeam. I might not though, because there's a reason why that might be a bad idea. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it plays. Accept. So that's quite straightforward really. You just pick the spells that you like. But I'm also going to get things like the Woodland Being back out and things like that. I'm not going to do it now because they kind of get in the way, but that is the plan for later. Is there anything else I need to do before we leave? No, I think we're pretty good here. So I do want to get a move on. I do want to try and focus on the task in hand today and try and get through the whole of Shadowheart's kind of like last thing. You know, like we did with the story where we confronted Cazador. We're going to have like Shadowheart's whole conclusion to her story, if I can do it in time. So I think I just need to get moving. Let me go to Baldur's Gate. Okay, we're here. Oh, another thing as well. I've given Jaheira Cazador's Woe because she had the scimitars, but I don't really play with her very much with the scimitars. I tend to use her spells a little bit more because she has some really high level spells, and this gives her not only a +1 to save spell DC and a spell attack rolls, which is pretty decent, and I did think about giving her the Despair of Athkatla instead because it does the same thing, but Woe has this extra kind of benefit of Arcane Vampirism, which actually restores some of her hit points when she kind of attacks people with the spell. So Woe's slightly better than the Athkatla one. I do kind of prefer the way this looks. I think it suits her better. It looks more like a woodland creature, like an owl or something, but I don't know. I guess she's summoned a bat or something. Yeah, I don't love the way it looks,
such a headache.
It's effective, so we're taking it. Alright, we're gonna run down this way.
You should know, Laconia was not half so heartless as she liked to appear.
I knew her well enough. You might have traveled with her for a time, but she trained me. What's your point?
Only that I find it hard to believe that she could have raised you and felt nothing for you.
Perhaps she took some pride in her work, forming me to Shah's liking. She certainly relished wielding the rod. But who knows? Perhaps someone else made her that way, as she tried to do to me.
Okay. Jaheira has kind of spoiled it there a little bit because I don't recall being told at any point in the story who exactly Shadowheart's matron was, but she just name dropped Viconia. Now Viconia was a companion in previous Baldur's Gate games. I haven't found her yet. I've been playing through Baldur's Gate 1. I'm not up to Baldur's Gate 2 yet, so maybe she was in Baldur's Gate 2, but she yeah, she's one of the darker companions that you can select. A little bit like Menthara, you know, she's not necessarily good. But like Minthara, I think being an older companion from a previous game, some people romanced Viconia, some people feel really protective over her, and so it's an interesting kind of reoccurring character, as is kind of Jaheira. So God, it's really noisy here, sorry if I'm shouting over everybody. We will be coming back this way. One thing that's interesting there with the dialogue that we just saw, oh my goodness, look at this. So Jaheira saying, only that I find it hard to believe that she could have raised you and felt nothing for you. Again, Jaheira's mothering instincts coming through there. Maybe we'll come back to this house at some point and explore this with Jaheira. Or we're also going to come back here as well. Now, if we come past with Gale, Gale has something to say about this place. But for now, we're just going to keep moving through here.
Isn't it?
And try and make our way over to the building that we could see across that kind of patch of water where Shadowheart saw the graffiti. This is also a building that we're going to return to, so don't worry if I'm running past things and you're like, that's my favourite part of the game, go back. I will be going back. Now, before we carry on, I want to look at what she said a little bit more deeply there. So Jaheira said, Shadowheart, you should know, Viconia was not half so heartless as she liked to appear. And Shadowheart says, because Jaheira used to know her, because Jaheira and Viconia were both in previous games, they used to be companions together. Shadowheart says, I know her well enough. You might have travelled with her for a time, but she trained me. What's your point? Jaheira says, only that I find it hard to believe that she could have raised you and felt nothing for you. So she's basically saying she might have been a very harsh person to train under, but she must have had feelings for you. We'll find out more about that. Shadowheart says, perhaps she took some pride in her work, forming me to Shah's liking, but she certainly relished wielding the rod. But who knows, perhaps someone else made her that way, as she tried to do to me. So again, Shadowheart has had a very, very harsh upbringing under the Sharans, similar to how Cordia and Minthara would have been raised in the Underdark. So while Jaheira perhaps has a very loving family background, she doesn't really understand kind of the more harsh family dynamics. Cordia and Minthara definitely do. And this is why I've brought this group, because Minthara has some specific dialogue, like some extra interesting dialogue here, as does Jaheira, because Jaheira used to know her. So this is why I've got this team. I wouldn't say this is the optimal team. There's a big fight coming up. It's a difficult fight. If you're going into this, I would definitely choose your fight as wisely. I'm making it harder for myself, going for story over strategy, but just letting you know that that's my thought process. Okay. Lug, hi Lug, how are you doing? Me when I've got fog brain.
Pardon my singing. That lullaby's been stuck in my head since... funny. I can't recall.
Okay, so that theme of memory loss occurring again. It feels like we might be getting closer to our destination. So again, the place where Shadowheart saw the graffiti was here.
Thing thou needst not look far.
So
Feel the light of Corellin's bright star.
So she's interesting. She seems to have like lost a child perhaps, and that was perhaps too much for her. So she turned to the Sharans to kind of take away those harsh memories. But it seems like maybe she was faithful to Corellin. I can't say his name. I'm so sorry. Before that, so it's strange that she should turn from light to darkness in her time of grief. And again, House of Grief. This is how the Sharans kind of prey on people. We've got this guy here as well. Let me just check. I've got Detect Thoughts. I might save before I talk to him. Okay. Hello, sir.
Wonderful little beast. Nimble as anything.
We can study the man's appearance. Should I take Fox's Cunning? Ooh, should I though? Yeah, let me take it off Shadowheart perhaps. And Jaheira can give me guidance. Okay, tickle the go, give me guidance. I did it. I probably didn't need the advantage. I was worried about the -1 to intelligence. I'm not the smartest drow at the beach, but okay.
A man of means, judging by his attire. He looks like a merchant or a junior council member. But right now he's without care, entranced by a tree.
Or maybe he's just discovered the joys of Sylvanas. Perhaps this is where Halcyon went. What are you looking at?
There was a squirrel in the tree. Marvellous creature. Inquisitive and nut-crazed.
Aren't we all? You get on well with someone I know called Halcyon. I want to say, are you feeling well? You seem distracted.
Oh, just tired, I suppose. It's been quite a long day. Or at least I think it has. You wouldn't happen to know where I live, would you?
You seem a little confused. Taken a bump to the head lately, perhaps?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm as fit as a fiddle. It's just that certain things are eluding me.
This is more than a lapse, you sense. Something's been done to the man's memories.
Oh, yes, he's showing the signs, just like Shadowheart and Dirge. Let's detect thoughts. So you can scam him. So if you're playing with someone like a Astarion who is out for themselves a little bit, who likes money, you can try and get money off him and take advantage of his weakened state. Cordia's not like that. She's a cleric. She's into helping people. I say that like Shadowheart's not a cleric of the trickery domain. But let's do detect thoughts. See what you can learn from his thoughts. Let's try and help him out a bit here. Okay, guidance. Ooh, I'm rolling low today. But we've done it. Just. Hopefully we roll better for the rest of the episode.
The man's mind is a stream of fragmented thoughts, each brushed away by another before it can take purchase.
Marvellous day. Not a care in the world. Moira would have loved this garden. Wait, who's she?
Moira. So again, we can deceive him, but we're not doing that. Perhaps you know someone called Moira?
Moira? Yes. No. I don't know. I think I remember a face, smiling, young, then older, then ill, then... No, I don't think so. You must be mistaken, friend. I don't know anyone by that name.
Okay. So clearly he knew someone called Moira. Perhaps this was his wife, perhaps his child. I'm more inclined to think wife or even mother, because it says that she was young and smiling at first and then got older. So he's clearly spent a long part of his life with her. And then she got ill and clearly died, and he couldn't handle his grief, so he turned to the Sharans. I kind of love this dynamic. I incorporated it into my own D&D campaign. So I've got my own campaign where I've created the world and all the NPCs, and it's totally my own thing, but I use D&D lore. So there's a graveyard area at the back of a church, and the church is more kind of Soluna, Corellalian, I can't say his name, it's so bad, aligned, kind of like sun and moon, but at the back where the churchyard is, there is a house of grief where the Sharans work, and they just kind of like take advantage of people who are grieving. Me and my eldest want to play as like a pair of Sharan clerics who kind of like do a similar thing, but we need to find the right campaign to do it together. Anyway, what do you remember?
Well, I remember I was sad, but in truth, I'm not quite sure what caused it. I'm not even sure I know what sad is anymore. And I came from that building over there. They were very nice to me, seemed very helpful. Though, for the life of me, I can't recall what I was doing there in the first place.
I think it's really sad. It's clever though, this idea of, because Shah has things that draw people to her, and this is part of the clever cleverness of Shah and why she's such an interesting goddess. That, you know, she's like, oh, you're in pain, put the pain into the void, feel nothing, kind of thing. Which I think if you've ever been really stressed or really sad or just in a difficult situation, grieving, that urge to kind of numb those bad feelings is very relatable, I think. And so for them to offer that, like, we can help those bad feelings. You don't have to feel that way. Give us your money, give us your property, and we'll take those feelings away and you'll feel better again. But people don't feel better because it's kind of like they know there's something missing, they know there's something that they can't remember. And I think it's part of the human condition to feel bad feelings as well as good feelings, right? It should be in balance. Like, it's part of the grieving process is to work through that sadness. So to take that away is kind of almost like an unresolved forever issue that that person has. And also I like this as well because it's almost like the game puts in real world topics that people might relate to. So this to me is kind of like dementia, where people forget the people who they love and they don't remember who they are and they don't remember the face. And so I think it's a relatable character and it's a really meaningful moment in the game, but it's such a small part of the game that a lot of people would just walk by, miss, not regard at all. But again, it's kind of the depth of the game and what makes it really beautiful for me. Is there anyone you can go to? Anyone who could help?
There must be, you would think. You know, I can swear there is someone, but their name escapes me. Hells, even their face escapes me. A figment of my imagination, perhaps. Oh, it will come back to me. Or not. I'm content enough here, in either case.
Right. I want to trade with him. Does he have anything? He's got gold and a black diamond. I was wondering if he had anything on him, like a letter. Let me see if I can get behind him.
I don't need any attention right now. Carefully now.
So I'm not actually looking to pickpocket him. I just wanted to see if he had any kind of letter on him. But he doesn't. I want to help him. I'm terrible as a player. I want to help every single NPC that I meet.
At the ready.
Which it can be a delaying thing if you're playing a real world game, but in Baldur's Gate I really wish I could take the time to just help everybody. But I guess that's part of the story as well. Like, you can't help everybody. Okay, Griefguard Wilbur.
Welcome, friend. Your burdens are soon to be made as light as a feather. Trust me.
Trust a Sharin. I mean, there's only one Sharin I trust, and she's not even Sharin anymore. She's a Saloonite now. Oh, it's saving. I'm nervous. Okay, hi, Griefguard Afara.
I should speak up.
Welcome. The House of Grief lies just within. We are here to help.
Your hair looks quite familiar to me. It seems like you will go to the same hairstylist. Inner Peace, The Path to Perfection. A self-help book suggesting all depressive woes can be cured by drinking the oil of freshly grown olives. Sponsored by Italy. Didn't I see someone? Yeah, there is someone walking around down here. Griefguard Wilbur. Okay. Oh, lovely garden you have here. Very beautiful. The surprising habits of Kara-Torian warlords. A curious self-help tome that claims to help those who have disappointed their elders. It seems to have been hastily printed and bound and strikes an oddly harsh tone. Alas, poor reader, not everyone can improve themselves without the help of others. Some need the instruction of an elder, a steadying, authoritative hand that can mete out guidance and discipline in equal measure. Honour your elders, dear reader. Be mindful of their lessons, deferential to their desires, and grateful for their discipline. Be of service to them, even when you think you are at odds with them. Again, I wonder if someone developing this was having trouble with an older person in their life. The book drones on, dispensing suspect advice that advocates for utter obedience before imploring the reader to seek further help at the House of Grief. I mean, we've got the mums and aunties episode here. I don't know. I feel like Shadowheart is absolutely the child of the group. And then you've got like Cordia, Minthara and Jaheira, who are the mothers. They're like, come on, child. we'll help you with this. Oh, down here as well, there's some cool flowers. There's
fit in
some
my bag.
Vixar root. So I believe there's some kind of potion you can make, but you can only really get these things from here. Poppy flower. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these just in case they come in useful later. Valerian flower. Oh, wait, where are you going? Where are you going? You don't have to run off the here. Valerian flower. So yeah, we might be able to make some kind of interesting potion by picking those up. So I just want to grab them and point them out just in case they're useful to anyone. But I'm going to go and get grab a blah, 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 blah. This is why I need it. I'm going to go and grab a drink of water. And then we're going to head into the House of Grief. Give me 1 sec. I'm out of breath. Had to run downstairs for more water. And now I'm like, okay. I'll be doing that soon when I go into the House of Grief because we'll be fighting. Those of you who thought I was going to be doing something else, shame on you and your dirty minds. Okay, so...
The House of Grief welcomes you and stands ready to ease your troubles.
I love the concept of this. Whoever created this whole situation and scenario, it was probably something that existed in the old Forgotten Realms books and things like that, but they've really brought it to life in such a clever way, because I think there's a lot of religions out there and a lot of people who work in religious roles that do a lot of good, but I think there are undoubtedly a lot of people who exploit faith and they do it for their own profit or whatever means. And obviously the Sharans really do believe in Shar. She really does help them as well. She really does take their memories away. She really does neutralize their pain. Like she shows up for her followers. But look how sneaky looking they are though. Like I love the way she sits as well. She just sits in a way where she just looks so kind of like...
The list of properties. Quite a slice of the upper city is now ours.
So again, they're trying to take over the upper city, they're buying houses. My Sharon, who I want to play with, again, I was talking about being like a pair of, almost like handmaids, a pair of Sharons that go around the city. Me and my eldest want to play like that, but mine is kind of like quite a posh lady, and she has signed over her house and everything after her husband died, but she doesn't realize that she doesn't realize she owns the house that she's in. She thinks it was given to her by the Sharons, but it's always been hers, like they're exploiting her. Anyway, okay, what do we have here? Hello. I want to have a look around first. Security guidelines. From the quill of the Mother Superior.
Healthy proceeds. Where fear plants a crop, faith reaps a harvest.
What was that, Jahira? She said, healthy proceeds. Where fear plants a crop, faith reaps a harvest. I've never heard her say that before, so that was really cool to get that comment. Again, every time I play, there's something new. From the quill of the Mother Superior. So this is Viconia. Lady Shar's secret halls must be defended at all costs. I'm trying to think how she talks. I'm probably getting it wrong. Ensure that all those who are assigned to guard, duty, or service in the House of Grief are aware of the correct protocol. 1. Secrecy is our first and best defense. The House of Grief is more than a facade. It is a shield. Maintain it as if your life depends on it, for it does. 2. The hidden passage leading downstairs must remain sealed unless indicated otherwise on my authority. I love that this is just open on the desk. 3. Should foes penetrate the lower levels, the main hall before the Chamber of Loss shall be our final redoubt. If all else fails, destroy anything that may be of use to Lady Shar's foes. Preserve her secrets. More about that later. Do not allow yourself to be captured. Take poison, fall on your blade, or swallow your tongue. Do not betray the Dark Lady. So secrecy above all else kind of thing. Interesting. I think we have some more stuff here. Become our friend. An application form inviting members of the public to become a friend of the House of Grief. Several tiers of donations are outlined in return for benefits such as having your name listed. In the thanks section of their next publication, bespoke calming tonics, a plague in your honour, and even a complimentary session to be unburdened of your woes. So the guy outside must have been like a big donor. The amounts of gold start modestly, but soon climb to staggering amounts. It kind of reminds me of what people say about Scientology. Again, don't sue me. I don't know. I'm going off second-hand accounts on the internet.
Quite a slice of the upper city is now ours.
Yeah, but definitely drawing from real-world influences. Client list. Ulrich Whitmirth, melancholy heart paid in full and referred for unburdening. What was the name of the guy outside? I can't remember his name, which is ironic. Elvir Sunbury, craven heart paid in full and then backed out, partial refund. Ludwig Kromps, jealous heart paid in full and referred for unburdening. Jackroll Iron Thumbs, prying heart paid in full, had an adverse reaction to the mapping of the heart and fled, no refund. Macro Crean, possibly a false name, curious sort, not local by accent, black hair, pale complexion, prying heart. Interesting. Paid in full with unknown gold currency and was referred for unburdening but fled. Ooh, that's a curious person. No, Mother V has ordered we seek out this Marco Crean. I think Viconia is meant to be a big reveal, and you'll see why when you get to her scenes. And it's weird that Jaheira's already kind of spoken about her. If possible, during his mapping, she detected thoughts and memories of strange lands and unfamiliar people. Fixated on a sword or possibly Zord, Mother V's interest was piqued. She wants that mind. Oh, so they're after him. Update, the trail has gone cold. It is as if he vanished entirely. I wonder if that's referencing one of the Forgotten Realm books. Cleona Frostley, violent heart, paid in full and referred for unburdening. Avarice Silvermont. That's the guy outside, isn't it? Melancholy heart paid in full and referred for unburdening. Curious. I want to get in here as well. We'll have to come back with Astarion to do a bit of pickpocketing. There's a few people in here as well. So there's this here, Cloister budget.
I need the list of properties donated to us by our guests. The counting house requires valuations.
At once.
The counting house, okay. A detailed budget breaks down the Cloister's income and expenditure. In one column are listed items such as donations, book sales, and profits from the sale of memories. Profits from the sale of memories. I love, again, I play Shah and the Raven Queen as kind of like a duo. In my campaign, Shah takes memories, the Raven Queen recovers and hoards them. So that's interesting. The next column includes supplies, bribes and former fees, poisons and rare substances, and more. Okay, definitely up to dodgy stuff. Next to one paltry offering is the income. In the income column, an angry note has been added in elegant script. Unacceptable. The Dark Lady's church cannot thrive on crumbs. Do better or be replaced. V. So definitely a tough lady running this place. Forging success. I reckon she's a Scorpio. I won't explain that. A self-help volume purporting to help those who are prone to deceit and insincerity. Let us speak plainly, dear reader. You may believe deception to be an art form, one that benefits you more than it harms you. Shadowheart, this is one for you. But this is the worst lie of all, the self-deception that shall one day be your ruin. But how can you break the cycle? It can prove difficult to speak the truth when lies come so easily. Instead, perhaps do not speak at all. If you cannot be honest, then you can at least be silent. The book continues on at great length, suggesting treatments pioneered by the House of Grief that may help should improvement fail. Okay, let's talk to this lady. Actually, I want to talk to him. Moran. What you got there, Moran? Why are you guarding that door?
You're eager. Good. But there is a right order to things. Before you can enter, you must agree to the House of Grief's terms. And price. Speak to the attendant by the front. She will put everything in order for you. Then, you will be free to enter.
Okay, if you need, is that a false beard? It just, there's something a bit off. Now, you are completely entitled to style yourself however you do wish. However, if you do need a good stylist, I can recommend Figaro. I believe he's got some free time opening up. Okay. We can bully him, but I do want to speak to the attendant, so I'm just going to say, well, what even is through there?
That is where the mapping of the heart takes place. Where all who seek to be unburdened open themselves up and lay their wounds and sorrows bare. But It is not for you. Not yet.
Okay, well, we'll go and talk to the girlie then. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do what I came here for. Hello, Miri.
Welcome to the House of Grief. Or perhaps welcome is the wrong word, Shadowheart. There's been some debate whether you'd even show up and face the consequences of your actions. I assumed you tried to flee, like a craven.
Spare me your venom. I'm sure the Mother Superior will have plenty of her own.
All in due time.
I think she's really pretty, Miri. I like the stylization of her. I think she's a cutie patootie. I met a man who'd been robbed of his memories. Your handiwork?
This is a place of healing. Anyone who partook in our methods did so willingly, and left with a smile on their face, freed from their troubles. Would you accuse a surgeon of robbing a tumor? I think not.
She makes up a good argument. I can see why they're allowed to operate in the way that they do, and some people see them as beneficial. Please, let us pass.
As I said, in due time. First, you submit to the mapping of the heart. Only then can we know what is to be done with you.
Let's remain silent and let Shadowheart speak.
Follow me.
Oh, okay, I guess not then. Okay, fine. Lead the way, girl boss. I'd follow you. I will follow you way down wherever you may go. I'll follow you way down to the deepest hole. I'll follow you to the mapping of the heart. Hello? Okay. Alright, bye. See you later, girly. So here we are. So, secret passage. I wonder where it could possibly be. Could it be this obvious doorway here? No way to get through yet, though. Let's have a look at these books. Habits of Patriarchs. A self-help book warning against the dangers of self-pleasure. I don't know. I thought the Sharons would be quite soon aligned. But I suppose any excessive amount of feeling would be disapproved of because they're meant to be quite like void of emotion. So I guess extreme pleasure is also not good for them. I don't know. Shadowheart was quite kinky when we went to see the torture guy. Do you remember in the goblin camp? Like she was quite into that. I don't know. I thought the Sharons would be kinky. A guidebook written to assist newcomers in grasping the separation of the upper and lower parts of the city on Baldur's Gate. Maybe they are kinky. Maybe that's why they need the rules to be like, stop it. So, it describes the upper section as the home of the Patriarchs, who are the city's nobility caste. It is well patrolled and its immense wealth shows itself through wide, well-lit streets, shining proudly on buildings of elaborate and elegant decoration. By contrast, the lower section of the city is a tangle of narrow streets, compact buildings patrolled not by many guards, but a cornucopia of merchants, craftspeople, chancers, dancers, fools, fabulous vagabonds, cutpursers, young men and women of negotiable affection. That's one way of putting it, I guess. Barkeeps, beggars, knights and knaves. Sounds like a fun time. I don't know. Party in the lower city. Okay. If bank. I thought these people had taste. Alright, so let's sit down and see what happens here. Now, there's extra dialogue, which I'll just kind of slip in if any of it cuts out, because Minthara and Jaheira definitely both have comments. So if I just kind of like slot those in, that's why. But yeah, let's go in. So again, I think this is meant to be like a big reveal.
You seek to be unburdened, yes? The mapping of the heart can reveal the way. Yet, there is another here whose need is great.
That voice. Allow me. I think I'm supposed to do this.
Well, I think so too, actually. Go ahead. But only if you're sure, Shadowheart. We're right here if you need us. Look at those evils Jaheira's giving her.
Oh. Do you know why you are here?
There is something I lost. No. Had taken from me. My family. My life. I want it all back.
Loss is a gift, girl. Do you still not understand that? Now give me the true answer. What is your purpose in being here?
Let's remain silent. This is Shadowheart's deal. She's got this. I trust her. I trusted her with the night song, and she made the right choice. I'm trusting her now.
The artifact. I was sent to retrieve it. At any cost.
And who tasked you with this mission?
The Mother Superior of It's you.
Give me the honor of my name. In full.
I can't. My memories...
I know what's in that head of yours better than you do, girl. My name.
Jaheira just told you, Shadowheart.
Mother Superior... Viconia Devere.
You still have the wits to recognize your betters. Good.
Viconia Devere. If only Shar would bless me with the forgetting of your face.
Always a pleasure to see old acquaintances. But you would be wise to not interfere in what is to come. Now descend. You have much to answer for.
An astral projection. It is just like a Devere to avoid facing danger in the flesh. They always were a family of cowards.
Oh, a projection. Let us find her in the flesh then. So I can give her a hug.
So this is why I brought Jaheira and Minthara, because they are so bitchy. Like they do not hold back. I don't know. I love the my bottle clicked. I love the energy of like Jaheira and Viconia, because again they used to be companions. A bit like, you know how Shadowheart and Lae'zel have beef. So it has that same kind of vibe where they work together, but maybe they wouldn't have got along in a different situation, different circumstance. I need to play more of the old Baldur's Gate games because I want to find Viconia and see what the deal is with that. And yeah, and Minthara as well, being like, ooh, the Devere family, because she's a drow. So again, Cordia and Minthara, just, it works so well. But yeah, because Viconia is a drow, like the whole like, ooh, the Devere house, oh yes, I've heard about them. They're scummy kind of thing. It's just so funny. Okay, we need to go. I am going to save separately because I want to come back and get the extra voice line that was missed. All right, and let's explore the exposed secret stairway. Here we are. It's a good thing we weren't... Actually, do you know what? I don't think anyone would care. I was going to say it's a good thing we weren't bitching about Viconia.
Never a dull moment.
I'm just trying to make sure that I don't miss Shadowheart speaking. Because she must have been like invisible against that wall and then she just kind of like appeared. If we were there like, ooh, Viconia, ooh, she might not have been quite so ready to talk. Okay, we can lockpick this or we can blast through the wall up here to get into this room. I'm just going to have Minthara go ahead and just knock the wall down. We're not here to make friends. So...
Still breathing, despite everything.
Let's go in here. Again, I'm going to watch out for Shadowheart because I know she has comments.
What are these mannequins here for?
So they've got like cloth and fancy clothing. So again, Shadowheart is a bit of a master of disguise. So this must be the disguise room.
A cunning disguise can serve a warrior of the Dark Lady better than any armor. That's what they always told us. I think this was my favorite part. Putting these on. Pretending to be someone else. I suppose that's been my whole life.
I always think Shadowheart gives a rogue. She doesn't have the best dexterity, so she doesn't play as an amazing rogue. I mean, you can always get like the gloves that give you high dexterity or the outfit, but yeah, playing Shadowheart as a rogue might be interesting. I'm going to take some of these sexy clothes. Okay. Of course, like these drow outfits, Shadowheart can disguise as a drow. She has the disguise self spell, so it makes sense why those are in there. Artifact mission challenges. Ooh. The pages in this handwritten notebook have been torn out except for the final page, which was only partially removed. The remaining text reads as follows. Ran, which must be Sharon, agents. In summary, must be trained to deal with conventional, illithid and Githyanki traps, locks, levers and controls. But more importantly, they should be mentally prepared to face extreme situations under alien conditions. Casualties are expected, but that the circumstances must not halt the mission. Agents are to be deep imbued to regard mission success as critical, even beyond survival. So this was the plan for Shadowheart. This was the strategy that she was trained with, to be able to face Githyanki and aliens, and to put the mission above her own personal survival, which she did do. She was faithful to the mission up to a certain point. Reports on artifacts of Enver Gortash. Ooh! The Sharans have been watching Gortash. A detailed report from a Sharan agent, Dark Adept Bilvoy, read about the activities of Enver Gortash, an arms smuggler on the Sharans had. The arms smuggler the Sharans had designated a person of interest. The report concludes with the lines below. Gortash, whom we believe to be a follower of the tyranny godling Bane, has recently, it's interesting they call him a godling, it's kind of like a little god, has recently been consorting with a leading adherent of the murder god godling Baal. Because of course they were overthrown. Again, if you want to watch, is it Mr. Rex? I think the channel name is, with double X's. He's recently done a kind of deep dive video onto each of these gods, and it's fascinating, the kind of history of them all. And so yeah, they were powerful gods, but they were kind of defeated, and so they had to kind of like regain their power. So I guess that's why they're using godling. The pair was observed entering the Devil's Fee, where they conferred over an hour with the establishment proprietor, the known diabolist Helsing. Now we do need to head to the Devil's Fee about that contract. This must be considered significant, as Helsing is reputed to be able to open gate portals to the Hells if her extravagant fees are met. Okay, I am taking that for future important matters. I don't know how I'm getting into these because I was originally going to bring Gale. So I guess who has the best dexterity out of this group? Me, I guess. Let's see if I can get into these.
Right tool will do the trick.
Okay, I might have to take Cat's Grace of Jaheira and Guidance of Shadowheart. Let's go, give me guidance. Yeah, I've done it. Woo! 23. Who needs Dirge and Astarion? We can lockpick. Not worth it. We've got another one here. Let me try lockpicking it. Okay, give me guidance. DC of 20. I think we've done that. Yeah, 2 and a 1. Yeah. 30, 20, 22. We'll take it. Interesting that they've got the illithid chest. Oh, actually, do you know what? This is an illithid chest and this is a Githyanki chest. So yeah, they did their research well to have actual things from them. Interesting as well, these like chains, like they've had someone tied up there, I guess. Probably people who have met Githyanki and illithids, or who work with them, trying to get information out of them. I guess they're kind of like a bit of a spy network. What's this here? The unburdening. This volume describes the full process of the unburdening in exact detail. So this is what a lot of the people who came here have had done. Some people chickened out. Valuable targets are identified from those who seek out the services of the House of Grief, like the guy outside. If they are willing to pay, they proceed to the mapping of the heart, which we just did with Viconia upstairs, where the Inquirer of Grief will question them while discreetly probing their thoughts for anything that can be of use to the Lady of Loss. Following this, targets are ushered downstairs to stand before the Mirror of Loss. So this is what's coming next. Given the correct prompts by the Inquirer of Grief, the target will surrender memories to the mirror for the benefit of all Lady Shah's children. So I guess maybe they're getting like, you know, like Cazador was when he invited all those people and he was kind of like asking them about who the wheeler dealers are in the city, who the important people are, who's working where, who knows who. I guess it's that sort of thing to kind of like vie for power. In the same stroke, the mirror can remove memories of what they have seen in the cloister, so they don't even remember being here, as well as whatever they believe to be the source of their troubles. It's like that's the minor thing, like that's secondary. Then they can be turned loose, blissfully ignorant of the offering they made. Yeah, so the service they offer is only part of the bigger plan to get the information and money off them. Very, very interesting. I like the Sharans in terms of, I think they're well written as baddies. I think that their plan would be quite effective.
Strike them down. Ha!
Obviously they're the bad guys, but come on, Minthara, put some elbow grease into it.
Let's move with haste.
Okay, so we have this room here with torturing equipment, which again, if you think back to the Goblin Camp, Shadowheart did have knowledge of torturing methods. After we spoke to Raphael as well, she mentioned it. Ooh, fancy clothes. Don't mind if I do. We don't really need them at this point, but I don't know. Maybe we can sell them or donate them to the refugees. Does any of this look familiar, Shadowheart? I do hope not.
I think I might have hurt people here. Learned how to break their bodies. Their spirits. Quiet in here now. But it wasn't always so. Screams rang off these walls. I swear I can almost hear them.
I think Shadowheart's a really interesting study in nature versus nurture. You know, her nature, the way she was nurtured as a child was with the Selûnites, who were good people. I think deep inside her, her instincts are to be a good kind of person. She loves animals, she loves children. These are kind of like notable things about her. And the nurture of the Sharans, the kind of training she received, the way she was taught to behave, the way she was taught to hurt people to get information out of them, the way she was taught to be deceptive. I think that has layered on top of the foundational base of who she was as a child. And I think deep down she still aligns more with the Selûnites than the Sharans. I think you can tell this through some of the text she has, through some of the dialogue she has.
How many people did I help break upon this thing?
And I've never played a fully evil playthrough. I don't know how she acts if you choose bad things like killing the Night Song. I don't know if she has different dialogue where she's like, yeah, I enjoyed torturing people here, or if she has the same dialogue. So I would be really interested to see. I do need to do an evil playthrough at one point just to kind of see, do I think Shadowheart is a certain person because of the choices I've made? Would I think she was an entirely different person had I made different choices? Would I see that different side of her? Because I think the game validates the way that you play in a lot of ways. You know, the choices you make, it honours your choices. So, which is quite clever, I think. Because again, with Dragon Age, I didn't feel like the game let me be evil or let me develop my own kind of character and personality and motivations. I felt like the character had been written for me. And so you go from this like, oh, RPG, character creator, and then you automatically get treated like a basic character, which again, I didn't enjoy that about Dragon Age. I feel like it wasn't communicated well to the player what to expect in that way. Okay. Just planning on meeting up with some friends for one of their birthdays, all being well. Okay, well here we go. I'm so nervous. This looks so familiar from like Act 2, being in the...
I remember this place now. A whole stolen childhood spent in these halls. The Mother Superior must be close. Soon this will all be over.
Oh, don't say it like that. over in a good way, Shadowheart? I guess she just wants answers. You know, when she says it'll soon all be over, she just wants to know. She doesn't know what happened to her parents. She's been told they're alive. She wants to go and find them. She wants to rescue them. But she doesn't know how this is going to play out. She is quite a realist. So I guess she just wants a conclusion. And what is my hair doing? It's so messy. Okay. I want to save, for sure.
This is it. Where I was raised. Trained. Hells. It's strange to be back.
I sometimes wondered if Viconia had returned to the Underdark. But instead, she brought her sordid little patch of darkness to the city with her.
Speak quietly. Shah's agents will be listening.
Okay, I've tidied myself up a little bit and kind of drank some water. And in my head, I've got, you know, are you ready for this? So, am I ready for this? I don't know. This is quite a big fight. I have a plan, but whether my plan's going to work or not, I don't know. And I'm not ready because I haven't summoned my people. Yeah, so I want to get some extra people out here. So Jaheira, I love this about Jaheira because it's quite unique. She has conjure woodland beings. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because this thing can actually be pretty powerful. It has spike growth, which is going to be quite handy. And we can also get Fallen Lover. So I love this about the summons because the summons can summon a summon. Which I think is really, really useful to just have those extra bodies. Even if they're not particularly effective at fighting, what they can do is draw some of the attacks coming towards us away from us and just act like a bit of a buffer, so not all the attacks are coming directly to us. Also, Shadowheart has the Deva. Now, I thought about doing the Deva, but I think more useful is going to be the Genie because the Genie has the ability to teleport, which I think is going to be super useful, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Now, I'd also love to have Cordia get an elemental, but I don't think I have any scrolls like summon elemental, so she doesn't have the spell, so I guess it would have been nice to be able to do that, but I guess we can't do that. Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is the team. I could get us, but I'm scared us would get hurt. I could get like a little spider out or something, but I don't know.
Let's get going.
I don't know. I do like the idea of
There can be no respite.
Could you go in with a load of spiders? I just think they'd get destroyed straight away. I think this is the plan. I'm just going to go ahead and go forward.
More interesting times.
I'm going to stop procrastinating.
Don't waste a step.
I'm scared I've forgotten something. I already did all my sorcery
Keep
points.
going. The Mother Superior is expecting you. The Mother Superior will deal with you.
If you want to do this as strategically as possible, I recommend killing this guy right now before he goes in here, just because it's one less person to fight. But we're in now, so I'm so nervous. I want to save again. I'm sorry. Okay, we can see Viconia here in front of us. Right, everybody huddle up. Get closer. I need you to get closer. Let's go down here. Why is it not letting me? Come on, come here.
Free from light, free from pain.
Okay. Can everybody, like, please just kind of, like, gather around a little bit better? Let me go back into a little bit like this. Let's get everybody in a huddle. Perfect.
To light are destined to lose it. Candles will gutter. Hearths will burn low. The stars will dim. Shed no tears for such fools. They are unworthy of Lady Shah's truth and doom themselves. We shall leave them behind. The Night Singer shall lead us to our reward.
There can be no reward without loss. No salvation without sacrifice.
Lady Shah smiles upon our endeavors.
It's to see you later, Toby! So again, this was how Shadowheart was raised.
Each of you has suffered in your own way and sought out the Night Singer. The gift of loss will soothe all woes, but only for those who deserve it. Assure your place at her side. Serve her to your last breath, and you shall have no fear of death.
There is no fear, but the fear of failing the Night Singer. Lady Shah watches our every step.
Blessed be, under his eye. Okay.
Lady Shah's darkness awaits us all. But how shall you meet it? When the time comes, shall you be embraced by the dark? Or devoured by it? Only your actions can determine your reward. Or punishment.
We shall serve. We shall be embraced.
Lady Shah awaits us.
Okay, so the best thing to do is surprise her, but I'm going to talk
we
to
shall
her
watch light be
for the
snuffed
storyline.
from the world. They already heard how you disgraced yourself before Lady Shah, how she marked you as the enemy. But it is quite another thing for them to see it for themselves. I am very glad you decided to return. A cautionary tale such as yours will be studied by Lady Shah's initiates for years to come. But perhaps I can make a case for some small measure of mercy. Give me the artifact, and I can at least make this quick.
Enough. I don't answer to you. Not anymore.
Yeah, look at the hair.
I'm here for my family. That's right. I know what you did. And it's not going to be quick. Not for you.
This is your family. And now you have turned your back on it. The artifact was your last chance to prove yourself. And you squandered it.
Okay, let's just talk about Viconia for a second. One, love how she's acted, love the voice actress, love the movement. I believe the voice actress also did the mocap for Viconia. I think that I really, really wish I knew Viconia from the previous games before meeting her now, because I believe she was a bit of a hottie. Again, kind of Minthara-like, that idea of like the seductive drow. I think Minthara is more empowered. I think Minthara is more modern and girl boss. I think Viconia did that old-fashioned D&D thing of being like, oh, girls are trickery, and girls like to seduce men. And because I believe that when you first meet Viconia, she's getting attacked because she's a drow. People are like, oh, evil drow. So you have that kind of like hero thing of like wanting to rescue the woman. But I think she's done something she maybe shouldn't have done. I don't know, I haven't played it, but I've kind of read up on it. And then yeah, really interesting, because I think if she was your favorite person to romance, just kind of like how I love Minthara. And so if she was like your person in that game, to go from that to this is really curious to me. Like the feelings that people would have in this moment, where it's kind of like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to fight that person that I used to love in the previous game. I think it's interesting, the stylization of her as well. She is a character that's been around for a long time, just like Jaheira. She is a drow, so she ages more slowly, but she's got some good wrinkles on that face. I love that there is representation of older women in the game. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that I think about Viconia, but we're here for Shadowheart. And why is this artifact so important to you?
Whispers reached my ears from all corners. Potential rivals of Lady Shah, all vying for the same prize. A new god, amassing the disaffected, the outcasts. Those who should turn to us. This absolute is but an upstart, disturbing the natural order and threatening to impede the glorious return of Lady Shah's pure, endless darkness. I had to act. I had to strangle that foul conspiracy while it was still in the cradle. We learned all we could. The artifact was the one thing the absolutists feared. The one thing they desperately wanted to keep out of their enemy's grasp. I had to have it.
I mean, baddie, you know, she's She knows who she is. She knows what she has to do. She's a leader. You know, we can talk about the Lady Macbeth effect of like a woman who is evil but also empowered. I don't know. I'm vibing. So the Absolute were a threat to the Sharans because all the kind of disparate people who would have gone to the Sharans have turned to the Absolute, so their numbers are dwindling, their supplies, their money is dwindling. So she was like, I've got to take this on, you know, I've got to deal with this. They've got this artifact, it means power, we want it, which is why Shadowheart was sent on this mission. I also want to say, like, can we normalize like these lines on women's heads, like, because I love her performance and the expression on her face, and I think there's a lot of actresses right now who are getting like the Botox because, you know, the you know, people are meant to have this like smooth face, but then they all give these performances like this and it's like there's no expression, there's no emotion. It's like, how can you be an actress and not be able to like frown when you're angry and like really wrinkle that forehead? So yeah, I don't know, I like her. Okay, you know, age is not ugly, we've just been conditioned to believe it is. Right, okay. Shah bid you to do all this?
Lady Shah's concerns lie elsewhere, with another. But she is a goddess. She can afford to ignore that which does not threaten her. I must keep her faith alive in mortal hearts. I must defend her ways, lead her children, stop all threats. Even if I must go against her wishes, I will prove myself her most loyal servant.
Shah doesn't care. She was always going to use you and discard you. But now I'm going to deal with you first.
Baddie?
You there! Surrender this one to me now, and you can consider Lady Shah's forces your allies in the battles to come.
So she's addressing me. She's like, you, like, give up Shadowheart, and we'll ally with you against the Absolute. You know, you're fighting this thing, we're fighting this thing, we can team up. So that's an option. If you feel like you're not ready to do that fight and you want all the firepower you can get, it's an option. Obviously we're not handing over Shadowheart. It's like, no way, Jose. Like, the only way I'd do it was like if Shadowheart's going to take over the cloister, which I think is what happens. Again, I need to do an evil Shadowheart playthrough at some point. But oh, just so much to say. I don't know. I've kind of forgotten what I was going to say. I have too many thoughts. Let me just give me a second to try and think what I was going to say. Oh yeah, like Shah's thing lies elsewhere. Obviously Shah wanted Shadowheart to kill the Night Song, Dame Aelin. I wonder if that's what she was referring to. I have a theory, because I don't know if it's just me trying to like Shah as a goddess because she's hot, but I have this theory with Shah where she's like one step removed. She's kind of got like the god eye of the whole situation, and the Absolute does threaten all the gods, so not just Shah but all their reality, all the power that they have is threatened by this, what the Absolute is, right? This thing that's going to take over everything. And a god is only as powerful as their congregation. So when they have a lot of influence, a lot of followers, the god is more powerful in this world. And so I wonder if with Shah's kind of like god mind, you know, this idea of like, I can see everything that's happening and I can almost see the whole chessboard, where mortals only have kind of a like I'm in the woods kind of view, like the gods can see the whole forest. So I've always wondered if Shah kind of knew all along what was happening, and so the training of Shadowheart, the positioning of Viconia, it was all part of this master plan to get Shadowheart into the right place at the right time, along with all the other gods, right, who have all like positioned or been manipulated to position everybody in the right place at the right time. It's almost like the bigger plot of someone like Ao, who's like the god of gods, has pulled the strings all the time. Like, how much autonomy do we truly have? Was this always fated from the beginning? That kind of questioning. I don't know. I like the idea of like Shah set this all up from the start. Anyway, I almost clicked she's all yours. I would have cried. Never.
As you like. Lilala! Fasha!
Do you see how long this is? It doesn't even fit everybody on it. That's scrolls. Okay, this is why I wanted us in a huddle, because there are so many baddies here. We've got these people here, these people here. We've got Viconia herself. There's 4 people here. There's someone back here. And then there's all these people here. And I think some more people here. So we are absolutely surrounded. We could retreat, we could run away, but this is a difficult fight. This is a really hard fight. Whether I'm going to do it well or not is a different matter. I want to save at this point because we did roll quite well. We're going first. Claudia and Jaheira are going first, but then Viconia goes. We've got a couple of Sharans. Minthara's all the way down here. Maybe I should give Minthara the alert feat. Yeah, so we need to prepare because we're about to get absolutely, like, there's going to be an onslaught of people coming at us, basically. So we need to think our first moves through really carefully. So I'm going to save because this is not the worst position to be in. So what I am going to do first, I have some options because obviously anything ranged is going to be very, very useful. So I could go in with something like Sleet Storm, which is going to create an icy surface, maybe make some of them fall so that they can't get those attacks on us. That could be one thing that I do as my first attack. Or I could go in and try a really big attack on Viconia herself. But I think Sleet Storm might be a good plan. So let me do it about here. Now they're going to be able to run and jump across it, but that's okay because I do have a plan B. There we go. I think I've got my electric boots on as well. No, I don't. I was going to say I thought I had my boots on where I could like step into the water and electrify it. Okay, now I'm going to have Claudia tuck in here. I don't really want to use Potion of Speed too soon. I don't think we're going to need it. I think the plan here is to persevere. We're playing a long game. So people might slip on that. Now this is going to break my concentration on the spell, but that's okay. I just wanted to get that surface down first. Because now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cast with my sorcery points as a bonus action, a Globe of Invulnerability. And now this is going to protect us from what is to come. Yeah, cast spell. Why isn't that working? Can I not do it as a bonus action? What? Wait. I can, look. Oh, there we go. Phew, I thought it wasn't going to let me then. Okay, so I want to get this all around us. Let's get this about here. And then everybody's under it. Okay. So everybody is protected. They cannot do damage on us. Now I just need to make sure Claudia keeps that up for the whole of the 3 rounds that I think we have that for. Yeah, 3 turns. So I've kind of got her tucked into the middle, so hopefully people are going to attack other people and not her. Jaheira,
another harvest.
Very similar strategy here, I think. We're going to use the wood roads to create another surface that's going to make it difficult for these people to pass through. But what do I want to do for her initial attack? I could get the Wall of Thorns up. Or I could start going in with a Sunbeam right away. She also has Call Lightning, which could do a lot of damage. I have some really good options. I can do Call Lightning at a lower level. I also have things like Ice Storm. So actually, do you know what? Doing an Ice Storm up here as well might not be the worst idea. Okay. Jaheira, hold your ground. Stay where you are. Yeah, we don't need to do anything else. I might just do Shillelagh for the sake of it. Just if anyone comes closer, we can start booping them. Your move. Slip. Oh, Wayward Heart.
You cannot win.
She's not slipping. We did restrict her movement speed though. Okay, this person's dashing towards us. They've dodged the ice. That's okay. We want a few people close to us because we want people like Minthara to be able to start taking them out one by one. This guy's doing Bone Chill on us. Now Bone Chill basically stops us from healing. It does give us disadvantage on attack rolls and things like that. It's not too bad because it can't actually hurt us. And a lot of them do it. I'm not going to stop him doing this because it'll just whittle down my my counter spell. It'll whittle down my spell slots. So I'm going to allow them to do this to us because it's not going to actually damage us at this point. Okay. All right. So now we've got the genie. What do we want to do? Oh, look, one person fell over. 2 people fell over. Genie, would you like to go up here? And just go ahead and do a Thunder Wave, which I think is the spell that does the most damage for him. And we'll just push these people back a little bit. Again, with the idea of like we're slowing down the flow of people coming towards us. He can also Misty Step basically with Shifting Winds back into this area. I'm going to go about here. Basically, he's still under the globe of invulnerability, so he can't be hurt. But hopefully, if people run up and attack him, they'll be just outside of it, so we can attack them. Okay. Again, we have the Dryad, and I really like Spike Growth. So I'm going to use this over here. And then anyone running through this is going to take damage. So let me just... How do I want to position this? Maybe over all 4 of them, like this. But slightly more towards us, so they have to come through it to get to us. Okay. Again, that's just going to whittle down their health, because it's going to harm them as they pass through that. I'm also going to have her do her equivalent of Shillelagh, Strengthened Shillelagh. Again, just preparing to kind of like attack people should they come close. Okay. And I'm having her here. So I'm not blocking my characters like Minthara from being able to get out and come back in. Okay, the Woodward. I think you should probably... Do I want him to come out because he won't be able to get back in again? Now I think I'm just going to have him just basically stand his ground. He can entangle. I think he might have to move forward to do that. Yeah, that's good. Entangle that person. Again, with the intention of slowing them down. And we're going to come back in and get invulnerable again. Perfect. Took in a tiny bit more. That's about right. Okay, lovely.
My victims await.
Minthara then. So this person's invulnerable because they're... Oh no, they're not invulnerable. Oh my god, I thought they were a step in. I thought they were under the protection of the dome, but they're not. Oh my god. You, mate, are about to have a really bad time. Minthara, could you possibly do Vow of Enmity on yourself to give yourself an advantage on attack rolls? Thank you. And then we're going to start to go in. So this person has 150 hit points. So we're going in with Divine Smite at level 2 with advantage. Look at the far realms. Decent. Oh my god, look at that. We took almost 100 hit points off them. Let's go in again. Another Divine Smite. I'm just going to do a normal level 1. Oh, I thought we were going to get them down. Not quite. Okay, can I get up here and back? No, that's all my movement speed. That is okay. I'm going to save my action surge for when more people are closer. Okay. So this person's going to run over now. See what I mean about like, it's like waves of people. Slip. Oh, she didn't get close enough. See, this should hopefully damage her. Yep. Bone Chill, not worried about that. So yeah, we're keeping them at a distance. Okay, Shadowheart in that case. What do we want you to do? See, I love Dominate Person. I love the idea of dominating her, but we have a really, really low chance of doing it. It feels like a bit of a waste to dominate anyone here because they might just slip. So I have things that do quite a lot of damage, like Flame Strike, and I have things like Guardian of Faith, which is also useful. I can try to command that Viconia drops her weapon. 4% chance. Yeah, she's got a lot of immunity to kind of like charm spells, being an elf. But again, I'm not too worried about the weapons. What's this thing she's put on her? Wayward Heart. Affected entity will be automatically critically hit by Viconia's attacks. We're under the globe, we're okay. It has disadvantage on wisdom saving throws. To end the effect, the creature must deny its Wayward Heart by acquiescing to Shar and aiding Viconia in combat. Oh my god, she has to turn. I think the best thing to do is going to be, if I step out of the globe of invulnerability, to just go ahead and get Spirit Guardians. The only thing is, let me have a quick look at these people. They haven't got any resistances, but if I look at Viconia, now we have to be careful here because we do a lot of radiant damage. She has Radiant Retort. Whenever you take radiant damage, reflect it back at your attacker twofold as force damage. So if I hit her for 10 radiant damage, I'm going to take 20 force damage. So just something to be really aware of there. Nightbringer's Beloved. Her chosen disciple regains 56 hit points every time they channel their divinity. So she has some really unique things. So yeah, I am gonna, in that case, I don't want to do, let me go to about here. I'm gonna do Spirit Guardians, and I'm gonna do it as necrotic damage rather than radiant damage, so we avoid that radiant retort. Okay, and then I'm just going to, again, just step ever so slightly back inside. So anyone who does get close to us is going to get into this aura and start taking damage from Spirit Guardians. Okay.
The Nightbringer shall prevail.
They're doing the best to avoid it. Definitely slowing them down. Darkness. I'm not too worried about darkness. I'm going to not react. We can deal with that. All we have to do is step outside of it. Oh, someone fell. This person's taking damage and coming around the back way. Perfect. Yeah, I'm trying to get the camera angle as best as I can. Slipped.
Lady Shar's will shall be done.
Slipped.
Dark Lady's foes must die.
Again, slowing them right down. This is perfect. So they're not coming into my globe of invulnerability. I can slipped. I can go out and get them, basically, with Minthara when it's her turn. Has Minthara had her turn? She did, didn't she? Bone Chill, not bothered. Don't react. Slipped. Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, but again, this only lasts 3 turns. I can put it back up again if I want to. Okay, so I need to do something that's high damage with Cordia, but not going to break my globe of invulnerability. So I think I'm going to go ahead, and if I come over here to about here, I think going in with Lightning Bolt is probably a good idea. I can get like 4 of them, I think, 3 of them. Let me angle over here a little bit. Let me go to about here. I don't need to see to do this either. Here we go. We'll do it as a level 5 spell. Yeah, I think I'm getting, just about getting 4 of them. I can take that, I don't need to, but... Okay. Did I get Shadowheart? I don't want to break her concentration on Spirit Guardians, but it's not too much of a big deal if I do. Lightning Bolt again. We'll do it as level 5 again. And we'll go in. So we killed one of them. 6 hit points. Oh, they've got a lot of hit points. I'm going to do this at a lower level. Again, maybe I can angle a little bit better here. Just have to be careful that I can get back into my dome. It's tricky because they're on different levels. And I'm going to try and get all 4 of these with a lower level spell. I don't want to waste my high level spells. We're going to level up as well, hopefully, after this. Okay, tuck back in. And actually, do you know what? Use that darkness to your advantage. Because they might get, like, disadvantage on hits against us. Okay, Jaheira Okay, we've got a few people coming close. Jaheira, could you possibly... What do I want to do with her? She's concentrating on Cat's Grace, so we don't really need that. I think Sunbeam is going to be a great decision here. But where should I do this? Maybe across here. I can probably get Viconia in it. But that's going to be risky. Let me go to... These Sharons are kind of where I want Jaheira to stand. So I'm trying to get her over this way so she doesn't hit Shadowheart or Minthara. Just move forward a little bit. Right, I need her basically to be... I need her to be under the dome. Oh my god, move back in. Why won't she move back in? Oh god, Jaheira. I want her to do radiant damage, but she needs to be under the dome to do it. This guy's in my way. Maybe I can push him. Come on, work for me. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, Jaheira, can you get under the globe? I'm gonna have to go there. Okay. Which ruins my line, but... No, not that one. Sunbeam. Let's get just the lines off. I'm gonna get these three and not Viconia. Ah, they used to be friends. I don't know if she'd want to hit Viconia necessarily. Okay, stand your ground, Jaheira. That's actually quite a good spot. The good thing is she can recast Sunbeam every time it's her turn now, so that's amazing. Okay, what are you gonna do? Oh, the ice is gone. Okay, light on Minthara. Can't hurt her, she's under the thing, so do not react. Minthara's coming for you though on her next turn. Okay, doesn't matter, do not react. Do not react. What are you gonna do, matey? Do not react. Bone chill we're not worried about. Okay, we've got the genie again. Amazing. I can probably... I kind of want to get... Oh, they're not in the dome. Perfect. I think I might just do this. Let me move forward a tiny, tiny bit. So let's do the thunder damage again. Amazing. And I broke the concentration on darkness, so we can see again. Yay! Amazing. Perfect. No notes. Okay. Wood Woad. Or Dryad, sorry. So we've got spike growth here, but she's concentrating on it. So it's going to go if I... Oh no, spike growth here. Do I want to move the spike growth? Possibly. I think we should move it here. I kind of want Minthara to take a turn though first. Yes. Minthara, can you go? You can. Okay, let's get Minthara to give Viconia a bad day. The problem is she does radiant damage. Do I want to sacrifice Minthara to get Viconia is my question. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Minthara, in that case, can you come over here and just do a normal attack? He's only got 26 hit points. Go and do a normal attack on this person. Okay, good. And then a level 1 on this person. Okay, good. And then Minthara, I'm going to need you to get back under the dome. Can you get, not enough movement, 6 meters. Here we go. I think I can just tuck her in.
Taking up position.
Yeah. Perfect. I was thinking if I didn't have enough, I'd be able to Misty Step her back, but she is fine. Okay. We're doing well. I don't want to use any of her bonus actions. I think we're good. Unless I want to put Hunter's Mark on Viconia. She's like, I'm coming for you. Come come closer. If Viconia could come close enough that I can hit her from the globe, but not like, and not take the radiant retort, that would be perfect. Okay, with the Dryad then, I am going to use the spike growth to kind of slow all these people down again, and I'm going to put it about, here. And get as many people as possible. Perfect. And Shillelagh again, because you might as well. And yeah, just hang out. Hang out where you are. Okay, this guy, I think we can probably take a few steps forward and smack this guy. or not, as the case may be. If I move back, he's going to get an attack of opportunity on him, but I think I'm going to risk it. Just to get back into position. Okay. What are they going to do?
10 years.
We don't care about darkness. Do not react. Okay. Come on, come through the spike growth. Don't react. The good thing is, because they're coming closer but slowly, they're huddling, so I can do area attacks on them. Okay, Umbral Form? What's that? What do you mean Umbral Form? I haven't seen them do that before, I don't think. Oh, so they're resistant to all the normal types of damage. On a hit, the affected entity deals an additional 1d8 necrotic damage. It's immune to non-magical damage and can make itself additional melee attacks each turn. It cannot cast spells while maintaining this form. I'm so paranoid that I'm not recording. I am. It's fine. Is it fine? Am I recording? I am recording. Okay. I'm also going to stop and restart right now because this is a long fight and I don't want to time out. Alright, so Shadowheart then. I should have given her the Blood of Lathander so she could have done Sunbeam. But I like that she's got the Selûne Spear for this. What do I want her to do? So like I say, I can do Flame Strike, but I feel like it's gonna damage the vines if I do that. It's also making her move forward because she's blinded. Maybe we do go in with Moonbeam. I just can't see. So I can put it out, but I can't move it. It does break Spirit Guardians. Is he invulnerable? He is. What if I push this person back into the spike growth? Because they're going to take like a hit point worth of damage, right? Damn, didn't work. What if I do Guardian of Faith here, and then anyone who comes in and hits us is going to get hit by the Guardian of Faith? Why won't you do it? She's so pussy. Not enough space? There is enough space. There was a second ago when I told you to do it. Oh my god, Shadowheart, can you stop being a dick? Would you provoke attack of opportunity? Oh my god, I don't know if it's because she's blinded. This is really annoying. Not enough space now because you're there. Yeah, she's not doing it. That's so annoying. Okay, do you know what? Let's go to our spell scrolls. And we'll go to... Can we do Disintegrate on Viconia? We have to move out to do it. Ah, the blinded is so annoying. Who blinded us? What if I do... Do you know what? What if I do drop weapon? She's too far. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Shadowheart, can you do something good, please? I might just have to stand my ground with Shadowheart. I don't think there's much I can do while I'm blinded. If it won't let me to put the Guardian of Faith down, that's really annoying. Can I put it down back here, possibly? It says I can. Okay, finally. Alright. Okay, that's good for when we drop the Globe of Invulnerability, which we will inevitably need to do. Can I not get back in now? No, I'm in. I'm invulnerable. No! Shadowheart! Oh! Shadowheart, no! Why? Oh no, okay. Nothing I can do at this point. She moved where I didn't click, which is really helpful, Shadowheart. That's great. Thank you so much. See, they're coming around the back towards Shadowheart now. Okay. He can't do anything though because he dashed as his action. Okay, these people are coming as well. Okay. Again, they're in a nice line. I could probably get them with electricity. I feel bad for this lady actually. The one that just died. She didn't really... She has a note on her, but she's not really into it. Yay, Guardian of Faith! Okay, perfect. So this is my last turn with this, and then it's going to get dropped. Who is vulnerable and who's not? They're all invulnerable, which is why it's actually a good thing that it drops. Let me go to about here. And I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt on, again, as many as I possibly can. It's a shame I can't get Viconia with this, but let me get these three first. Okay, nice. We got one of them out at least. Quicken Spell, and I'm going to do it again. I'm just avoiding using my highest level spell slot right now. And I think I'm going to get Viconia with this one, possibly. We do need to bring... No, let me go for that. Okay, we're good. We're good, we're good. Let me get to the middle. I actually just want to position myself closer to the Guardian of Faith for protection for when the globe drops. Okay.
Ready.
Jaheira. You and Viconia have a little bit of beef apparently, so do you want to get over here? I need to make sure she's still... Actually, do you know what? It doesn't matter if I hit them or not. Let's go in with Sunbeam on Viconia. Because she's going to try and damage us, but we're in the globe, so it's fine. See? Radiant retort my ass, Viconia. Didn't do a lot of damage, but it felt satisfying anyway. And then, do you know what? Just push one of these bad guys back. This one here. Nice! And they're down, because they only had 1 hit point, and they're in the spike growth, so that's perfect. Viconia, what are you going to do? I think she's going after Shadowheart.
Sunlight again.
She's cast Blight on Minthara. She's in the globe. It doesn't matter. At least she didn't go after Shadowheart because she's out. Okay, she's close now though. That's perfect. Okay. Don't care. Don't care. So we're picking them off. It's a long, slow battle, but we are picking them off. I do like this technique. Okay. You... I wonder if he can blow Viconia out of this with this. Can he blow her backwards? Because she's currently invulnerable. I don't want to blow Cordia out though. Doesn't matter if I blow Jaheira, Minthara out because she's going to have a turn in a minute. She didn't go out. Okay, it's fine. I don't mind. Okay. Can I go to Minthara?
Ready for battle.
Because I'd really, really like to get Viconia. Can I push her backwards? I can. Okay, perfect. Minthara, oh, she's too far back. I might sacrifice Minthara.
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay. Minthara, can you disarming attack Viconia? Weapon dropped. Divine Smite 2. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. So, she got the Radiant Retort. She did a lot of damage to Viconia. I think worth it. Minthara, you are a legend. Don't worry, we will revive you. Yeah, she did a lot of damage there. And she's dropped her weapon. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, these guys. Are you invulnerable? You are not. Didn't do anything, but it's fine. You can go for that guy as well. Okay. people are leveling up. We love to see it. I could potentially give some good berries to Minthara, but she's not going to be able to eat them. Oh, I had it myself. Okay. Jeez. Don't react. There's just so much happening. Darkness is back, because of course it is. Beckoning darkness. Right, Shadowheart is not invulnerable. Yeah, I'm going to counterspell that. I don't want her to do that to Shadowheart. She's saved. Okay, because she would have took damage every single time. It doesn't matter. Shadowheart just leveled up. Okay. First things first. Heal Minthara, do we think? No. Okay, what do I want to do with her? I would love to get Viconia. She's going to get an attack of opportunity if I do this, but let's try it. We took down the darkness. Amazing. Okay, I would like to inflict wounds at the highest level I can. Oh, high defense? Damn it. Oh, get Minthara up. Okay. Shadowheart, your attacks could definitely be better here, girly. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to Dimension Door. No, there's no point because the globe's about to go down. That's going to hurt her. Oh, I don't have any good options. I do. I have scrolls. Cast Scroll of Disintegrate on a 16 defense. Why are her defenses so high? Chain Lightning. She's only got 35 hit points. There must be something I can do here. Magic Missile, because it can't miss. It's not going to do that much damage, but it's going to do something. Okay, and then get back onto the globe for the time being, even though it's going to go down in a sec. Oh, damn, he was invulnerable. Nice try, Guardian of Faith. Here we go. Okay. Big time plays. The globe is down. So what are we going to do? I am going to go here. And have Cordia go in with... Oh, no, because Minthara's there. Minthara, why? Let me go in with a blight on this person. Okay, not bad. And I think you should probably maybe Sanctuary yourself. Or Sanctuary Minthara. Sanctuary Minthara, because she's taking a lot of damage. Okay, and then move back to the Guardian of Faith. Okay, perfect.
Onward.
Jaheira. Minthara's so in the way of everything I want to do. Can I Sunbeam but not hit Minthara? I can't tell if that's hitting her or not. I don't think it is, because that is. Okay. Sunbeam. She's going to take radiant damage, but it's okay. She's got 80 hit points. Okay. Alright, cool. Viconia is down, but she is only knocked out. She's not dead. So I might have to get rid of the spike growth because I don't actually want her to die. I want to have a conversation with her. So Jaheira, could you just Misty Step back into... I love that Jaheira took her out. It feels right, you know, for the storyline and the lore that they used to be companions and then she betrayed her. So she's like, fuck you. I'm Jaheira. Jaheira, Jaheira. Okay. They must be bricking it because they just saw Viconia go down. Bone chill. We're gonna be okay. Don't react. It's fine.
Lest I sit down for a rest and not rise again.
Okay. Right, how can I effectively use this guy? Everyone around this way died. There's not many of them left. I think I'm gonna go about here and get these two on a bit of an angle. Like this. Sorry, did I get you there, Minthara? I'm sorry if I did. Perfect. And again, just go back to the Guardian of Faith because he's great. Dryad, I'm going to have you drop your spike growth at this point and just hit this guy in front of you. And then, do you know what? Move back because you'll get an attack of opportunity and the Guardian of Faith might get him. No, he wasn't quite in the Guardian of Faith's range, unfortunately. Get this guy. I think we're in the clear now. As soon as Viconia goes down, and we've cleared out a lot of them, I think I'm feeling pretty confident. Okay, so the spike growth has gone down, so I'm not going to accidentally kill Viconia. I think we're doing pretty well. Let me get rid of the entangle.
Let me strike.
Okay, who's left? Who's even left here? There's this guy here, and who's this person? Oh, right in front of Minthara. And Minthara is seeing red. Like, she's angry right now. I'm going to action surge to get her actions back. And we're just going to go ahead with whatever we've got here. Highest level that we can.
You will break.
Amazing. 36 hit points remaining, but not for long. Oh, I don't know how she survived that, but I'm going to use second wind to heal a little bit.
This is not how I die.
Exactly. Okay, what are you going to do, girly? What's your plan? She's thinking. We don't care about darkness. It's really not an issue right now. Beckoning darkness, we will do counter spell and just save Minthara from that. Okay. Alright, Shadowheart, do you want to do something with this guy? Do you want to actually damage someone? Come over here. And let's do inflictions. Down. And then, can I Misty Step? It really annoys me that Shadowheart doesn't have Misty Step. Well, come over here, maybe we can heal everybody a little bit. Alright, Guardian of Faith, nothing to do. He's just hanging out with the gang. It's just this one person, so I think I'm going to finish them off with
don't waste a step.
Magic Missile, just to be sure.
I have to find my parents. They must be close.
Oh my gosh, Shadowheart, get away from Viconia. I don't want you to accidentally kill her with fucking Spirit Guardians. Sorry about my language. I'm going to save. Okay, we did it. That, to me, is one of the most difficult battles in the game because it's long and it's slow and there's so many of them. I find that not necessarily one of the hardest battles. If you've got Globe of Invulnerability, I think that works really, really well, especially if you've got two people who can cast it. We can level up, but I'm going to probably save that for the next video. Let's speak to Viconia. Bye, Guardian of Faith. Thank you. The first thing I want to do, though, is actually loot her and take her stuff because she has Viconia's Priestess Robe, Char's Ombre. Well, actually, let me just stop messing around and take her stuff. We'll have a look in a second. Can I also hit her? No, because she's down. So, yeah, hang on, scrolls go away. I want this for Cordia because it's rare clothing. It's one of the nicest robes in the game, I think. It's very unique. While obscure, the wearer has advantage on stealth checks. Not too bothered about that. Sharon Veil, Shield of Faith also grants you a 2+ bonus to all saving throws and an armor class +1. So currently, she's got on these boring old wizard robes that they're okay. They do the lightning stuff, but I think I'm going to wear these for a while. They look so cool. I really love these robes. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dye them in the blue colour that I use for Cordia. Light blue dye. Because I think this is a sexy outfit and I just want her to wear it for a while. So cool. Okay. Pop those in there. Amazing. And then we also have this shield as well. The Viconia's Walking Fortress, Rebuke of the Mighty. When a foe hits you with a melee attack, you use your reaction, dealing 2 to 8 force damage to knock it prone unless they succeed a dexterity saving throw. We also have a Reflective Shell and Warding Bond. Reflective Shell is a protective shell that envelops you. It reflects any projectiles targeted at you back to their point of origin. So if anyone shoots an arrow at us, I'm going to give that to Shadowheart, because she's had a really decent shield this whole time, but it is just a glowing shield, and it says if you get below 50 hit points, you regain 8 temporary hit points. I think Viconia's shield is better, so I am nicking it and giving that Shadowheart. Next up, Viconia's Fate. Oh, and we also have the Handmaiden's Mace. Funny talking about handmaids earlier. And this is Viconia's weapon, and it says 5 to 15 damage. Set the warrior's strength to 18, which is pretty cool. The enchantment has no effect if their strength score is higher without it. This mace is designed by Loth's assassins to fell heretics who dared turn their back on the Spider Queen. However, the best laid designs fall to nothingness when brought to bear against Shah's faithful. Interesting that she should have that and be using that one. I don't know who I'm going to give that to. I feel like it would suit Minthara, but it's not better than what she has. And Minthara's strength, I think, is 17 already. So actually giving it to Shadowheart.
Can't afford to stay
and her being able to wield that and putting her strength up to 18 could be useful. But for now, I'm just going to keep her with the the Spear of... What is it? The Spear of the Night? Yeah, so the Spear of the Night. The shield says, Walking Fortress is a defensive technique reliant on a shield of this caliber. It also involves upsetting your opponent who just wants to land a single blow. It looks amazing as well. Such a beautiful design. The robe says, listening to the magical hum of this robe emits dull... listening to the magical hum this robe emits dulls your senses, thoughts and feelings, everything. It makes you feel numb. Listen for too long and you can almost hear the screaming chitters of 1,000 spiders, drowned by encroaching hungry darkness, almost. So this combination of kind of like the lolthiness and the drowiness, along with the Shah and stuff, I think is telling Viconia's story quite nicely. But let's talk to her ourselves and see what she has to say.
Finish it. Send me to Lady Shah's embrace.
She still has answers I need.
Make it quick.
My parents. Where are they?
So blunt. Have you forgotten all the interrogation techniques I taught you? Where is the finesse?
Answer me!
They are right through that door in the Chamber of Loss, where they have been all along. You saw them many times, only we made you forget. But they didn't forget. They watched as we molded you. They watched, they wept, they bled, often at your hand. It may not be a happy reunion, but it will be a memorable one.
So Shadowheart, as part of her indoctrination, was forced to basically torture her own parents again and again and again, and they made her lose her memory of doing this, which is so incredibly cruel. I feel like only the combination of someone who has been indoctrinated by Shah and raised as a love-sworn drow could have that level of cruelty inside them. I don't think Viconia has any motherling instincts towards Shadowheart. I think she purely only wants to do a good job in the eyes of Shah, and any good things that she did with Shadowheart was just because that was what she was tasked with. I think she actually resented Shadowheart. Such cruelty.
Why? Why me? Why all this effort?
Lady Shah commanded me, and I obeyed. I do not question. I merely act as she wills me to.
See you later, Toby.
I had an enclave in Waterdeep, you know. Much grander than this. Shah ordered me to raise it. Kill all who followed me. Claim they betrayed me. When in fact, I slew those who showed nothing but loyalty. Shah had me do that. And I did. To cover my tracks. To usher in you.
What are you talking about?
You became my mission. To take a child of Selûne's and turn her over to Lady Shah. To show that all light fades and darkness will prevail in the end.
Will it though?
All this was to make you into what the Dark Lady needed you to be. The planning, the training, those deaths in Waterdeep. It was all to groom you to replace me at her right-hand side. And still you threw it away.
Yeah, so she's all about the job, basically. So she is resentful to Shadowheart because she had a really successful enclave in Waterdeep that was more grand than this place where we are now. So she had built it up. She had built up her following. She had built up her kind of congregation. And she was really proud of that, clearly. And Lady Shah told her, raise it to the ground, don't leave anyone left, destroy everything. I need you to move to Baldur's Gate to raise this child of Selûne. So Viconia has only resented Shadowheart because Shadowheart is the reason why she lost what she lost in her own eyes. Obviously, she had a choice. She chose to follow Lady Shah and do her bidding. But yeah, she's blaming Shadowheart for the choice that her goddess made. And Shadowheart was a child. She was entirely innocent of anything until the Sharans got a hold of her. So, you know, I guess Viconia is like, why is this child so special kind of thing. So all that cruelty and resentment she's took out on Shadowheart and like tried to make her be as cruel as she is through the things that she did to her parents, but it hasn't worked. I don't think that light is something that she could blot out entirely. And it almost did. When we meet Shadowheart at the beginning of the game, she's quite a dark person. But those little glimmers of light that are still there, I think, are who Shadowheart truly is. Are you expecting sympathy? I think she would say, she's always trusted in Shadowheart's judgment, and she would say, what do you want to do, Shadowheart?
I want to see my parents. And I don't care what happens to this one. She's been in my head long enough already. Do what you like. I know you'll choose well.
What are you doing? Come back and finish this yourself. You owe me that.
Power move.
Let go, Mother. Embrace loss.
So to turn her back on her and not give her that
She stands at the same crossroads you yourself once did, Viconia. But it seems you are not quite the teacher you thought.
So it's like Shah is better than Viconia. Again, I wish I fully knew Viconia's story, because like there's a hint of like she was once in the same position that Shadowheart's in, and clearly she maybe chose not to walk away and to end it. And so to not give her that, to not validate that, and to be like, I'm something better than what you are. I'm stronger than what you are. I don't let vengeance rule me. I don't let cruelty dictate my actions. I can walk away, I think is incredibly strong. And although I think that Viconia is an absolute menace, if this was Minthara, I would want to spare her. I would want people to spare her. So hopefully she's going to learn some lessons from this. Maybe she can be redeemed. I don't know. But we're going to let her go. Go. If you're wise, you'll vanish. Just like Shah would want.
I am adept at it. Aluve.
Yeah, that's my sword, Falar Aluve. Does it mean goodbye? Does Aluve mean goodbye? Is my sword called something goodbye? Someone speak Drow to me. Help me understand. She is just going to walk off. She kind of walks around for a bit. You can't talk to her. I've tried pickpocketing her at this point. It doesn't really work.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Oh my goodness. Look at this pose. Absolute legend. She's posed mid-dance move. Okay, so a lot of like random armor on some of these people. Not a huge amount of good stuff, but some of them have letters. And I do want to just kind of like look for the ones who have letters. Exciting news! Sorry, I'm just trying to keep track of my eldest who's at college today. She's got this new timetable, so I'm just kind of like checking to see when she's home. Okay, so exciting news. Owl Talon, the Mother Superior has approved me for applied poisons and paralysis training. I'm so proud. Your little Night Mist is going to be a certified venom specialist for the Dark Lady. That will also qualify me to study the basics of sudden esophageal collapse. What fun. So this person was really, really into it apparently. Let's check some more people. This one has some good armor. Again, we could take all this and sell it, but I don't want to encumber myself at this point. Let's go this way.
Something good here, I hope.
I think 3 of them in total have letters. Here's another one. Note to self, bloodstains. Tuesday's inspection was a disaster. How could I have overlooked the stains on my tunic? Must ask Hyreld where they get the special soap that takes dried blood out of fabric. So it's kind of like the mundane parts of being in a sea like Toarie, I guess. There's one woman though who wasn't into it, and I would have knocked her out had I had the chance. What's this here? Martial Catchism. Strengthening of the sword arm. Melee drills for 2 hours each day. Change opponents and weaponry for each round. Bloodletting is acceptable. Indeed, it is expected. Remember, a well-trained warrior has the scars to prove it. Honing of the Archer's Eye. Ranged drills for 2 hours each day. Targets will progress from fixed to moving to live. Hardening of the Poisoner's Heart. Crafting and theory of poisons and concoctions for 2 hours each day. Pupils shall be dosed with low levels of poisonous substances in order to develop their tolerance. That is very... That kind of shows that there was a drow leading this, because that is a very drow thing to do. We know that Minthara used to do that to her lovers. Another one here. Here we go. This is, look, this one here. Dear Mum. You were right, ma'am. What they ask of you as a novice in the cloister, it's just... Well, my heart just isn't hard enough to do these things. I had to run out of last 10 days interrogation class to vomit. But now that I'm in, I don't see any way to get out again. Not alive anyway. I don't even know yet how I'm going to get this letter to you. I'm scared. And the way the Mother Superior looks at me, I think she knows it. Oh, how I wish I'd listened to you. Your dear bit, though here they've dubbed me Blue Nail. Yeah, so I'm going to take that just in case we do stumble onto her family. But yeah, kind of sad, I think, for that one. She didn't like it, but once she was in, she couldn't get out. Okay, now for one of my little favourite things about Shadowheart's story. Do you remember when she took the mushroom and she had a memory flashback? And then we talked to the guy about it. She had a friend here. She had like one person who was kind to her. But the guy at the market told us that the friend was dead.
I was younger. Much younger. An initiate at the cloister. I was upset about something. The others were teasing me, mocking my name, like I wasn't worthy of it. There was another. A tiefling boy with short horns and purple hair. I think he was my friend. He tried to make me feel better. Ronald. That's the last part of it I remember. That must be his name. Perhaps he's still there in Baldur's Gate. Tell me one thing. Is there someone called Ronald there? A tiefling with short horns and purple hair?
Renauld. Now there is a name I haven't heard in a while. He is no more. I'll leave the rest for you to find out. Heretic.
Now there is a reason for this, which I think some of you will understand. Let's go in here to the dormitory. And there is one Sharon left standing. Come on, Shadowheart, get over here. And it's Nocturne, Shadowheart's friend.
Shadowheart? I wasn't sure if I'd ever lay eyes on you again. It's me, Nocturne. Do you remember?
You recall the memory Shadowheart recovered by eating the noble stalk. This must be the person she remembered.
I remember you, but you're different. Very different. I used to call you something else, didn't I?
You did. But that's not who I am now. I remember the other initiates used to tease you about your name, the one you chose to honor Lady Shar. They were attacking who you were. I never found it funny, but I wasn't quite sure why. Eventually, I realized it was because I wasn't happy with who I was. I couldn't keep going like that. But seeing how you fought on, I realized that I didn't have to. From then on, I was Nocturne. It wasn't easy, but everything started to make sense. I could breathe.
It's a beautiful name. Suits you well.
Thank you. Picked it myself. But enough of that. I can't believe you're back.
I've been trying to return here as long as I can remember, which admittedly doesn't amount to much.
They whispered it was a suicide mission. This search for the artifact you were sent on. Some even thought it was the Mother Superior's plan alone, and not Lady Shar's intent. But now it seems you've turned on both the Mother Superior and Lady Shar.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? So much to say. So Nocturne is Baldur's Gate adding in a storyline where someone is transgender. Nocturne was a boy and is now presenting as a woman. And so the person that Shadowheart knew has changed, right? And this is the idea of like their dead name, right? But that's why the guy was saying, oh, they're, you know, that person's dead. Because the person that they used to be has effectively died and they are someone new now. That's kind of like the theory. And so I think it's handled in such a beautiful, sympathetic way. And I think it's a really meaningful part of the story, especially if you have recovered Shadowheart's memory. And the whole thing about Nocturne being Shadowheart's only friend. And them having each other's back. I think at some point, I can't remember where it is, but at some point she says that Nocturne's the one who did like Shadowheart's plaits, like she created that iconic hairstyle, and so we've changed it a bit along the way, but again we were kind of dropping the old identity like Nocturne has. And I like that. I like this idea of like you can transform. Who you once were does not mean that's who you will be in the future. You know, maybe you've done things that are not great in the past. Maybe you can be a good person in the future. You know, people change. We have experiences that make us grow. Nobody stays the same from that moment they were born. Otherwise, we'd all still be babies. It'd be stupid, right? People do develop their personalities. And sometimes those personalities develop in a way where they think, do you know what, this gender doesn't suit me. I actually think I align better with this identity, and I think that's perfectly fine. You watching may have different feelings. That's okay. We're different people. We're allowed different opinions. We can agree to disagree to a certain extent. But I do think that the way Baldur's Gate handles this in a way that is so impactful and meaningful to Shadowheart's story, in a way that has so much sentimentality without feeling like it's kind of like forced or overly judgmental, or like it's trying to teach us a lesson. Like we're seeing it through the character's natural story. I think if we compare that to Dragon Age and the way they had a very, I feel like the storytelling of, I can't remember her name now. She was a tiefling, wasn't she? I'm saying she. I can't remember it well enough to remember the whole story. Tash. So Tash's story where, yeah, she was raised as a girl and identified more as being more masculine. But it just felt really light, like it felt really kind of like plastered onto the story, as though there was no depth to her story, and the dialogue made it sound like it was really kind of preaching to the player, rather than, it was kind of like trying to make a political point rather than being a natural part of the story. I feel like if you compare these two instances, Baldur's Gate did it absolutely beautifully and perfectly, like no notes. Dragon Age made it a bigger deal than and it's not to say it's not a big deal to the individual person. We've just seen Nocturne tell her story, but like to do it in a way that feels very forced and very shallow, I think Dragon Age handled it so badly, and I think that's why Dragon Age received so much backlash, where you don't have that same backlash with Baldur's Gate, even though they have effectively pretty much a very, very similar story. It's just handled in a way that has emotional depth here and feels appropriate, where in Dragon Age it just felt childish the way that it was written. So yeah, I've been waiting for this point because I really wanted to make that comparison. And of course, this is such a small part of the game. She's not the main story, but she's a really meaningful character in the main story of one of the main characters. So I don't know. I think they've shown support in a way that shows understanding and like allyship, in a way that feels like you would meet this person naturally in this world. Anyway, so we can be like, no, Shadowheart's my friend. You can't trust Nocturne. I am gonna say, I don't think she's about to attack us. I think this is going to be fine. I'm going to say, I'll expect you have some catching up to do.
Indeed. There must be all sorts of things you could tell me.
There are. But with the Mother Superior gone, I don't know if I can stay here to reminisce. Perhaps there's another enclave out there for me.
Or
you don't need Shah.
You don't, perhaps. Not everyone is as brave. I'll leave come tomorrow. Come see me before then. I was working as quartermaster. I can sell you some things to aid you. And we can catch up.
I wish we actually had this scene. I don't think we actually get this scene. But yeah, I can trade with that. Like I would love a cutscene where Shadowheart and Nocturne actually do catch up and have a bit more dialogue, but
greetings. Do you seek to trade? As Shadowheart's friend, I'll extend the privilege to you as well.
Oh, yes, please. Let me see your wares. I don't think she has anything we overly need, unless she has, you know, the potion that makes us go higher in initiative order. Scroll of Misty's Step. I do actually want that. I'm short of those. But yeah, that's about it. So balance, offer, barter. All good.
Be sure to get everything you need. Come tomorrow, I'll be gone.
I think we can get different dialogue if we show up without Shadowheart, so I might try and get some of that where you learn about her plaiting her hair and things like that, and I'll just insert it here. But I think I'm going to be a little bit short of time this week. We do also have a Nocturne's journal here.
Here we go.
Wait, hang on, why is that not? My battery's going down. There we go. Okay. The earlier entries of this journal have been erased or heavily redacted before settling into a normal rhythm. I am Nocturne. I think as her. I see her when I look in the mirror. Again, just telling you more about Nocturne's experience in a way that feels like it's inviting you into her story. It's saying, do you want to learn more about Nocturne and who she is and her experiences, without it feeling kind of overly forced, which is what I think a lot of people felt like almost like confrontational, the way it was dealt with in Dragon Age, because it's kind of like, you will listen to this, which I don't think is the right way of introducing people to concepts that they might be unfamiliar with. I am Nocturne. I think as her. I see her when I look in the mirror. I can't remember the last time someone called me by the wrong name. Shadowheart has been swift to gently correct slips of the tongue, and even swifter in challenging those who'd use my forsworn name in malice. And I love that as well. I love the difference between, because I think if you've known someone for a very long time and you've known them as a certain name, it's very easy to slip up and use the old name, the dead name. And that's not through any malice. And I think having understanding when people doing that and just being like, oh, actually it's this, is a better way of handling it, where saving the challenge and, you know, the more The harder response for those people who are intentionally using the old name or intentionally being malicious with it, I think is the right way of handling it. You know, if someone is just accidentally saying she instead of he or he instead of she and not using the right pronouns, a lot of the time it's just a habitual language and there's no malicious intention behind it. Although I know I can understand why people could feel like it could be hurtful and it could be very jarring if someone says the wrong pronoun when you don't think of yourself that way. You know, it kind of like reminds you of that discomfort. I can understand both sides basically, and I think understanding between the two is really important. And she says, I'm really lucky to have Shadowheart as a friend. They took Shadowheart's memories again, more than they took before, but I know what to do now. I know she'll be frightened and that she won't remember much, not even me. Oh my, I'm getting all goosebumps. She's so kind. I can take her away to our hideout and remind her of herself. I'm getting better at it each time. It's like 50 first dates. I love seeing that look in her eyes when she finally remembers me. Why must Mother Superior do this to her? Why must she grind her under heel like she does with no one other? They are grooming her for a mission, and They are grooming her for a mission and will soon take away her memories again. I need to see her while she still remembers me. I need to tell her to stay safe and that I'll see her again. It's been days and no word. Shadowheart and the others could be alive or dead, and even the Mother Superior does not seem to know. I'm sick with worry and I can't even bear to write anymore. And this is so hidden. This is like, so many people just wouldn't see that tucked away back there without pressing like Alt. And it's, I just, for me, it's such a beautiful story, and I love that for Shadowheart. I love that she had a friend who was so loyal to her and really, really watching her back, even though Shadowheart didn't realize it because those memories were being taken from her. I think it's just so beautiful, and she's such a caring, wonderful character. I'm going to take these, although I don't think you necessarily need to read them now.
These are all about me. 40 years of my life, documented like I was some sort of specimen.
Me and Shadowheart are roughly the same age, and she's looking much better than me. Those pesky elf genes. I say that, but not necessarily better. She looks so much younger than me. Again, age does not necessarily not equate to beauty. Let's take these bits and bobs. I don't think we need to read those. We do have this here though. In service of the night. It has been years since Waterdeep, since Suldan Elslar. At last the trail has gone cold enough so that I may recommence Lady Shar's holy work. It is true that secrecy is the greatest shield of all, yet the sacrifices needed for this new beginning have been steep. It had better prove to be worth it. Baldur's Gate. It feels strange to be back in this place, so familiar, and yet I cannot engage with it. I am like a living ghost, hidden and watching. Time has rushed past like an autumn storm. Lady Shar's church in Baldur's Gate grows steadily and in secret under my command. I have named it the Cloister of Sombre Embrace, for the Night Singer's embrace is the final goal that we all crave. One night, this place could even surpass what I created in Waterdeep. Yet by then, it may not be mine to command. Lady Shar tells me that there is another Shadowheart. One I must pry from a foul Selûnite heritage and reshape to become the darkest champion. An audacious plan, but one that could cost me everything. I must stay resolute. I must find this child for Lady Shar. So yeah, Viconia was very loyal to Shar. My spies have reported to me the child has been found. Baby Shadowheart, so this is old. A girl with hair of sheerest black. She will soon come of age. I mean, she had white hair originally. And be lost to the moon bitch forever. But our plan is in motion. Oh no, she did have black hair at the beginning, didn't she? But our plan is in motion. Under a cloak of darkness, the girl shall soon be ours. So again, it was almost like with the dark hair, almost like she was like marked. Or at least that's what they were looking for.
These jewels. Why do I remember these of all things? A gift from Sildur, Mother Superior said. Curious. I could never quite tell if she was proud of them or not.
Again, I feel like that's probably a reference to a previous game. And here we have a Githyanki log. A log of interrogation notes detailing a Githyanki captive's torture over a number of days. The captive remains strong at first, very Githyanki, but very gradually begins to slip and offer up information about the whereabouts of a mysterious artifact, which is what Shadowheart went to go and get from the Githyanki before the game started, hidden away by Queen Vlaakith.
Githyanki. Part of the Sharen's preparations to seize the astral prism, no doubt.
So there could potentially be a Githyanki around here. See you later, Nocturne. Nice talking to you. I wish that she could come to camp with us. I think that would be really nice if she could be like, if she could hang out maybe with like Alfira on the roof or something. That would be really cool. Be part of Alfira's little gang. Let's just check these people, see if they have anything. But this is definitely going to be a longer episode. Lost Training Hall key. I don't know if we've already been in there or not, but I'll take it. Anything else here? Sharen Novice Tilda, silver plate, all good. Okay, so if we go in here, we can go and find Shadowheart's like little hideout in the armory. Don't worry, we will get to her parents. There's just a lot to see here, and I did want to do it all in one episode. So, yeah, little armory.
There's a hole back there behind the crates.
Map of Faerun. A place to come for camp supplies if you want to. But let's get through here. And maybe I need a short rest. Everybody's looking a little bit rough around the edges.
Keep us going.
Sorry, Mumthara and Jaheira. Definitely, the older characters of the group definitely needed a short rest there.
Can't give up now.
But it's because they fought the hardest and took the most damage. So yeah, this is the little hideout that Nocturne used to bring Shadowheart to.
Why does this place seem so familiar?
You know why, we just spoke to Nocturne, she told you why. So it's absolutely full of night orchids, and this little hastily written note, if I can click on it, there it is. I wish that we could have like Shadowheart and Nocturne get together to like date each other. Because I think they had a little thing going. She is going to make me look in the mirror again. So this is Shadowheart. She is going to take my memories. I do not want to forget who I am. I like flowers. I like animals. See, I told you that was canon. And my name is... It's so funny because she likes animals and yet she developed this fear of wolves, which I feel like Viconia probably encouraged to keep her away from the Selûnites. The writing breaks off with a jagged scroll as if interrupted.
A mirror that steals memories. Very Sharen.
Yeah. A heap of precious pelt upon the altar as if it were nothing. The door wants gold trinkets, baubles of mammon. So we can, that's how to get through to the next room basically. Nothing too much there. Some old food. Yeah, they used to obviously hang out here and like have this as like a cute little picnic spot.
I'll take that.
Nocturne said that she used to bring Shadowheart here after they took her memories to remind her of who she was, but like it sounds like Shadowheart used to hang out here beforehand as well, like storing her memories so that she could read them again later. So I think it's really interesting, this idea of like she never really wanted to give up her memories to Shar. You know, not in her heart of hearts, she didn't want to do that. So the attempt to try and like revive those memories and keep them, I think is very, very sweet. Okay. Oh, book. Artifact mission. A roster of 5 infiltrators is written in an elegant hand. Above their names is noted that this group have proven themselves to be the most skilled and have the greatest chance of successfully obtaining the artifact, but they remain utterly expendable. All 5 of them expendable. So this is the group that Shadowheart went into the Githyanki Creche with. She stole the artifact. Shadowheart tells us right at the beginning that she's the only one of this group that survived. Everybody else was killed. And so we had Calden Darkwood, the leader, Budug Frizz, close combat, Kirk Deepcroft, lockpicking, Drina Cobley, languages, and Shadowheart, the healer. And of course Shadowheart had some disguise stuff as well that would have helped. You know, because Shadowheart can disguise as a Githyanki, that probably is one of the reasons why she got away. Let's see if we can get in this chest.
Don't give me trouble now.
So yeah, we're just going to explore this little tiny area and we'll go and see if we can find Shadowheart's parents. So Cat's Grace, I'll take it. Guidance, I'll take it. Give me guidance. It's a 20. And I got it. Nat 20. Let's go. So we have interrogation in 3 levels. A manual for Sharan interrogators describing 3 levels of induced stress: emotional, physical, and lethal. It emphasizes eliciting information over punishment and cautions the interrogator against becoming emotionally involved in the process, either sympathetically or sadistically. So it's kind of like, you're doing a job, don't get emotionally involved. Like, they shouldn't have too much pleasure in doing it. Or sympathy. Baldurian founds a city. This text roots its subject on Baldur, a sailor of exquisite renown who founded the city of Baldur's Gate many years ago. The prose is colourful but a little too self-satisfied around the edges, and the novel would be unremarkable but for one small entry about halfway through. Baldur claimed a guardian and friend, Ansor. Remember this. Bright were Ansor's scales, and brighter still his breath. Yet after a betrayal too piercing to recount here in worthy detail, remember this, Ansor fled beneath the stone, thereby changing the name of the region he now slumbers under to match his draconic lineage. So this ties into Will's story and how he's supposed to go and wake up this dragon that's underneath Worm's Rock. So yeah, we'll definitely grab that. And they apparently the dragon used to be friends with the founder of the city, Baldurin, so Baldur's Gate, Baldurin's who it's named after, but they fell out, so interesting. Lunar Dark Lies. This scroll is filled with soothing, persuasive arguments, encouraging the sick at heart to turn themselves from Sahanine worship, Seluna, to the Moon Maiden, as the goddess is called, will whisper naught but lies. No problem solved. Only a sense of fondness that is as cold as the lunar marina. Seas of empty pale dust, and even that gradually fading for the worshipper. So this is kind of like, you know, when people pray to the god and the god does nothing, and they lose faith, it's kind of like exploit that to turn them to Shah. As an alternative, the scroll speaks of Shah who whispers only truth. Her fondness is warm, unexpectedly so for a goddess of darkness, grief and nihilism. But why should that be unexpected? The sick at heart will only find succour and blessing in the embrace of she who understands them best. So it's saying like she understands you, she's got empathy for you. An introductory text explaining the allure and superiority of Shah above all other deities. So they're basically learning how to persuade people to join the See You Later Toby. All the other so-called gods are liars and charlatans, given to cheap tricks and easy answers. And I do like this. It's legit. Like Shah, the things they say about Shah are actually true to a certain extent, but like Shadowheart says, Shah's not going to be there for you at the end. Like, it's just a void. I think there's a story actually somewhere where you read a book like that where when they go to the feud plane after they died, somebody who is really loyal to Shah just doesn't get claimed. It's like, you're nothing to me. Nothing means anything to Shah. They seek to enthrall moral hearts with promises that are beyond their ability to fulfill. Lady Shah does not do this. She makes no promises, right? Her words are honest and her gift is simple. Her embrace awaits eternal darkness, the purest of nothingness. The end is all pain. It will come to us all ultimately. Nothing else will matter. Nothing really matters. And it's only the role of Lady Shah's children to hasten that understanding among the ignorant. I don't think she's good. I think she's well written, is what I'm saying. While we carry out Lady Shah's holy work, we must inevitably cause pain and suffering, yet it is only to reveal the truth. What we do is a kindness. Habits of Fairies, a self-help book against the dangers of self-pleasure. Okay. Crimes of the Moon Maiden, the Anti-Lunar League. Woe to any who throw their lot in with the saloon, 4 ways she has of pulling the wool over one's eyes. First, she can make you think your husband is a werewolf when he's only forgotten to shave. Second, she's always changing, making it difficult for slow painters to capture her likeness. This doesn't feel like too bad a thing. Third, tides. Absolutely bugger the tides. You could argue that Umberlee is also responsible for the tides. Fourth, people keep associating the moon with femininity, and frankly we're fed up of reading the same poetry over and over. It's all that celestial bint Seluna's fault. I don't think those concerns are that important, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. Scroll of greater invisibility and the Fortesune. Some more bits and bobs. I'm just going to grab this, and if there's anything important, we'll have a look at it in the next episode. I kind of look at it in between episodes, but it is time to head over here and yeah, finally reunite Shadowheart with her parents. But first, I'm going to reset.
My parents are still captive. I need to free them.
So Shar, and who knows what other gods, fight over the prism like brats over boiled sweets. And it is the mortal realms that suffer. Would that there was a hand big enough to smack them all. Meaning no insult, Oakfather Sylvanus.
Merkel, Bane, Baal, and now Shah. Are there any gods who do not want the prism? No matter. They will all be disappointed. Lord Ao, the Overgod, could not take it from us.
Power. Is that not what it is always about? Ketheric, Gortash, and now Viconia. The seed of tyranny begins with the want for power. Nurture it, let it grow, and we become the very despots we once despised.
Viconia sought that which she could never have controlled. Her failure was written from the start.
The Absolute wants the prism. The Githyanki want the prism. Shah wants the prism too. Phew. This thing means an awful lot to a lot of people. Us, more than anyone. Without that thing, we'd have been drooling true souls. Surprised to find I share a name with Shah herself, but the Absolute has to be stopped. Let Shah have the Lost. Better that than the Netherbrain.
Another day, another god trying to make us her playthings. We'll have the whole Pantheon interfering with us if we're not careful.
Hello, my dear.
Okay, so we've got a very familiar looking statue of Shah and a stone inscription. Treasured in light, lost in dark. So we did see that we're supposed to, and there's a hint here as well, because there's this black diamond. So there is a hint that we're supposed to load our treasures on the statue of Shah. And so it just so happens that all this time in Shadowheart's backpack, I have been collecting a little pouch of treasures for her for just this very moment. And so I'm going to go ahead and put some of these on here. So I'm going to keep one diamond out, but we'll put these on. And that was enough to open the door. So yeah, it depends on value. You have to get up to a certain amount of value, but 4 diamonds were enough to do it.
I've got a long
have a save. I don't know if I saved. Let me save. Yeah, I don't want this to go wrong. But yeah, let's move in.
I see them. I see my parents. God, what's been done to them?
It's so horrible because, again, a lot of what's been done to them, because she says what's been done to them, and a lot of what's been done to them was by her own hand, as part of her, the see you later Toby, turning her against her own family, which is what they do. Like, so this is a very literal demonstration of it, but a lot of the time it's done through like gaslighting and manipulation, where anyone who is trying to manipulate someone, so whether this be a cult leader or whether this be, you know, a narcissistic partner, they will do a lot to turn the victim against the people who offer them support. So if they've got close family members, if they've got close friends, teachers, anyone who is a threat to the narcissist or the cult leader, they'll try and break those bonds to make the person, the victim, more reliant on the person trying to control them, and have less opportunity to get support or have somewhere to go if the person wants to leave the person manipulating them. So yeah, like, this is a very, very literal demonstration of that. Captives of Shar, a ledger bearing the names of those incarcerated in the Chamber of Loss. Some are noted to have died. So here's the Githyanki. Tresh Lear, Githyanki, double guard at all times, deceased. So yeah, they were definitely a bit of a danger. Arnel Hallowleaf and Emmeline Hallowleaf, these are Shadowheart's parents. Baron Alice Bumel and Unknown Interloper, who are both deceased. Over here, just before you do go down to Shadowheart's parents, that is the priority, but I don't want to forget to have a quick peek in here. We find out more about the Githyanki prisoner that they held captive. Nothing worth taking on the
Githyanki, head removed. They tortured her for information, then made sure the corpse couldn't help anyone else.
So they made it so we can't do like speak with the dead on her. Again, this kind of like silencing that shadows, like leave no information behind. But we do have subject mapping results on the Githyanki. So the mapping of the heart, where they probe the mind. A log of interrogation notes detailing a Githyanki captive's torture over a number of days. The captive remains strong at first, but gradually starts to slip, and offers up information about the whereabouts of a mysterious artifact hidden away by Queen Blackith. So again, this is how they got the information for Shadowheart's quest, effectively. Is there anything else over here? I feel like I found the Githyanki's head before, but I don't know where. I don't know where it went. If anyone knows where the Githyanki's head is, please tell me. Up here as well, we have this little place where it looks like this is what happened to the previous prisoners. This little room that's kind of caved in here. Anything in here? No. Speaking of prisoners, if anyone plays D&D and you're interested in some interesting homebrew items, I tweeted the other day, or posted on X, about some manacles that I've created. They're available on D&D Beyond as a homebrew item, and I don't get any money from this. It's just something I made for my own game, and it's there if you want to get it. They were looting a dungeon, and I needed some interesting artifacts for them to find. And one of the things is a pair of manacles, and it restricts your movement. I'll put it up on the screen with the details, and it does something else as well. It reduces your dexterity and it reduces your movement, but it means that people can't land critical hits on you. They're adamantine manacles, and so if you are something like a paladin or a barbarian or a fighter and you're a bit of a tank and you don't need to move around in combat a lot anyway, and people are coming to you, they can't land critical hits on you, basically. So yeah, I did it in a way where it's kind of like it's gonna add a hindrance but also a benefit. So I thought it'd be really good for kind of like those paladin types, but it can't be broken with lockpicking. It can only be unlocked with magic. So you need a wizard to be able to do like the unlock spell as well. So yeah, if you want those, they're available on D&D Beyond. Just look for adamantine manacles, and you can grab those for your own campaigns if you want to. But yeah, here we go. Are we ready? I'm nervous. Hello. I might actually just save here because it glitched out on me last time, just in case I have to go back and get like better footage. But let's see. Big choice to make here. I don't know if I make the right one here, but I make the right one for me. I like the choice that I make here.
It can't be. Another vile trick.
No, there is no trick. It's her. Jennifer. Jan. Our little girl.
Moon Maiden's grace. It is you.
I'm here to get you out of here. They're all gone. It's over.
It is not over. You see, it matters not if you raise this place. If you slay every one of your brothers and sisters. That was never where my power resided. Every time you tried to step away from me, every time you tried to reach for Selûne, my hold on you bites deeper. If you had learned, if you had obeyed, there would be no pain. But you struggle on. You will make things worse for yourself. And for them.
Oh my god. I'm so sure that I make the right decision here. It's one of those where like I'm not sure what the right decision is, but I think I know. I think I know. Okay. Ignore her, Shadowheart. She's just trying to spite your victory.
Victory? Your victory is but a guttering candle in the dark. Temporary. Inconsequential.
Enough!
A human can have a big impact in my life.
I'm taking my parents away from here. I'm taking them away from you.
Yeah.
You cannot. We are still bound to you. You cannot both free us and free yourself from her curse. The Moon Maiden needs you more than she needs us. You are the future. You must return to the fold. We are the past. And our duty is almost done.
Eloquently put. His mind stood up well to his time here. The same cannot be said for your mother. Such brief, fragile lives humans lead. This is my final lesson. I leave you now to dwell on your mistakes and make your choice.
Shah's parting words make your flesh crawl. There is no lesson to be learned here, only a family's torment, a spiteful goddess's whims, and an unspeakable choice to be made.
She's gone. I don't understand.
Shah will never admit defeat. Not until she has stolen one last thing from you. We cannot allow your future to be her last prize. Not after all your mother and I have endured. To see you again. Your companion understands, I think. Help her, please. Help her see what must be done.
Okay. So, this is a really tricky one here. With the benefit of having played the game before and knowing kind of the outcome that I'm intending, the choices basically are... what's happening is Shah's saying, you can free your parents, but you'll always be under my control. Your hand will always hurt. I will always be able to cause you pain. You will always be tied to me if you free your parents. Or kill your parents and I will release you and you won't have that pain again. So her parents are saying, because they're her parents and they want what's best for her, they don't want her to be in pain. They're saying, kill us and go and live your life free from Shah. And if you do choose to kill them, to release them from, you know, the torture, to give them peace, it's very beautiful. Like, I feel like Selûne comes, there's like this like glimmering, kind of shimmering light as the souls go. It's kind of beautiful. And part of me feels like, is that the choice that game wants me to make? But I don't think so. I think if you read between the lines a little bit here, and you compare it to other stories where someone can be selfish and they can make a choice for themselves, like Astarion, but at the cost of all those people, all those other lives, or you can make the selfless choice and, you know, like Astarion let all those people go, but it meant that he couldn't ascend. I think that's a more obvious right and wrong choice, where here it feels a lot more complicated. I would say, based on the context of this being a See You Later Toby, and the psychological abuse and the torture that has happened here, I think that the parents have been led to believe that them being killed by her was inevitable. I think this is the cult talking. I think that what Shadowheart needs is to be reunited with her parents, to talk to them, to know who they are as people, to have all those lost conversations again, and to have them learn who she is as well, and you know, to go through those painful memories of like her being forced to torture them, and to come out of the other side with compassion and understanding, and hopefully a beautiful family relationship. So I think, you know, they talk about don't rob your future. I think her parents should be part of that future. And there's also the thing about her personal pain and her hand, and this tied to Shah. I think that's her burden to bear. And I'm not saying that she deserves to be punished because she was a victim and she was indoctrinated, but she did do terrible things, and the pain is a reminder of that. And I don't think that is something that should be forgotten. Just like Shah makes people give up their painful memories, is that not what we're doing if we get rid of the pain? And I think also this talks about people in real life who have long-term pain, right? Who have medical conditions or physical problems where they are in permanent pain. And I'm not saying that anyone deserves that. I'm absolutely not saying that. But I think the empathy and compassion that you can see by playing as someone with Shadowheart, who has that kind of that problem, and having her be able to bear it with the help of her family, I think is the better story. I hope I'm explaining this well. I definitely have conflicting thoughts around it, but to me, if we kill Shadowheart's parents, we're giving Shah exactly what she wants. We don't want to do what Shah has told us to do, right? Surely the real strength comes from having Shadowheart do this final act of defiance and say, no matter what you threaten me with, no matter the pain that you inflict on me, I'm going to do what I feel is right, and I'm going to give myself the future that I fought for, and I'm going to free my parents, and I'm going to have them in my life. So that's the story that I want to tell. But Shadowheart's confused. She doesn't understand what she's being asked. She wants you to kill your parents. Her idea of a parting gift. You have to choose, Shadowheart. I'm scared I'm going to pick wrong. Free your parents or rid yourself of Shah's curse. My tummy's rumbling.
No, I can't. I came here for them.
And you did. You found us. All these years, that dream kept us going, that you would break free. No matter what they made you do to us, we knew you were still in there.
I knew the Dark Woods wouldn't frighten you. You were always such a brave girl.
She was, and still is. You've saved us. Now save yourself. You'll be out of Shah's reach, and we'll be at peace.
But I only just found you again after all this time. I can't lose you again.
We'll still be with you. By the Moon Maiden's grace, we'll never be far. Please, Jennifer.
See, it's so difficult. It's so difficult because this makes me feel like it's the wrong choice, but I'm sticking to my guns here because they deserve something beyond the torture, beyond this prison, right? They don't deserve to die here. They deserve to know Shadowheart for who she truly is. And I think, you know, I'm going with this. It's sort of a bit like if you compare it to Gale, like the idea of if you entirely free Gale from Mystra, it means that he has to take the crown, right? Otherwise, he's always going to be reliant on her magic. There are nuanced areas where the right choice isn't always to be free, but to learn to live with a condition, you know? So, okay. And I think that is actually, do you know what, actually, I just saw a greater theme of the game, because one of the themes is overcoming the gods, right? And overcoming that indoctrination. You see this with Lae'zel, where, you know, she understands that she's been manipulated by Blackith, and that Blackith is the bad person, and that she actually wants to follow Orpheus. Gale's problems with Mystra, Astarion's problems with Cazador, Dirge's corruption by Baal. So there's all these tyrants that we're meant to overthrow, Karlach and Gortash. And so another theme is having a burden to bear. So we see this with Gale, with the orb in his heart and the need to consume magic. We see this with Karlach, that she has the mechanical heart that, you know, is trained to kill her. We see this with Astarion's hunger. You know, he has to deal with this permanent hunger. The companions have, I even think even the Dark Urge is Dirge's burden to bear. They all have their burden to bear. And it's part of their resilience and why they're such strong characters, that they can bear these burdens and make good choices. And I've just realised that's a common theme. Never actually realised that before. So I think the right choice is keep the pain, give your parents their life back. I've been on the verge of tears throughout this whole thing. Do not lose your parents. It could be because both my parents are dead. both my parents have passed away, so. But I had time with them and I had good relationships with them. I wish I'd had more time. You always do, but I had something that Shadowheart didn't, and I don't want to deny that from her. Do not lose your parents. Not again. The pain can be handled. She's handled it this far.
The curse will just have to go on like this. Suffering.
Yeah. Like, fuck Shah. Yeah, you're strong enough to handle this. And again, I want to be really empathetic to those of you who do have long-term conditions that give you, you know, I want to say that I see your strength. If you have a condition that is very painful and it's just a long-term condition, a chronic condition. I see your strength and I see those moments where you feel weak, and you're here, and that's incredible. I don't know. I think this is the right choice. You can endure it together. As a family, this is what you've been looking for. Don't deny yourself. Good thing Jaheira's here, because Shadowheart's not giving me advantage. Give myself guidance. You guys give me guidance too, or not if you think I'm making the wrong choice. Let me know in the comments. Let's go. 17, yay! With the +3 from charisma, yes, we've done it. This feels right to me. I've played it both ways, and I've seen the outcome, and this feels right to me. I like the outcome here.
I didn't come this far just to give up at the final hurdle. We're leaving this place together. I'm going to take care of you.
Our time has passed, Genevieve. You must not let us burden you.
You're no burden. You're my strength. I think I know where my willful side comes from now.
But...
Hush, Arnel. Jen wants her family. Jen shall have her family. How can we help, dear?
It's like Selûne came through. It's like Selûne's here to help. So that, yeah, I feel like that we made the right choice. If Selûne's helping us, that has to be the right choice, right? She helps either way because she takes their souls if they do die, but you've got this Shadowheart. And I think it's reflective of Shadowheart as well, being someone made of light and darkness, good and bad memories. To be a disciple of Selûne, but also to have the memory of Shah. I love this for her. This is, I feel like this is the right choice. It feels really rewarding.
Get out of this place as soon as your strength allows. There's a camp. You'll be safe there.
New camp companions, let's go! Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to leave it soon because it's been a long episode, but I want to round up by talking to Shadowheart in this moment. Let's get out of the thing that's trying to eat my head though. Let's go down here because this is quite a pretty little area. So this mirror, I'm gonna have a proper look at in the next episode. We'll probably spend an episode kind of speaking to everybody, getting everybody's thoughts. I've definitely missed a few. I'll try and put them in throughout where I feel like I've missed them. And we'll kind of like get the aftermath and the kind of cutscene to kind of round up Shadowheart's story in the next episode. It's just going to be too long if I try and do everything today. We'll also level up everybody. So we're going to have Shadowheart making a choice. I think I'm going to make her a druid. I think that really suits her. I'd love to be able to have her wild shape into a wolf. I feel like that would be just so good for her, getting over that fear of wolves if she can be a wolf just like her dad. But yeah, let's have a chat with her, see what she thinks.
Everything that's happened, Shah, my parents, it's almost too much to take in. Give me a night to try and get my head together.
There you go. She says, give me a night, and we will. We'll give her a whole week, maybe more actually. I'm going to be a little bit busy over the next week or so, so I'm actually recording this a bit early before something fun happens. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm pretty happy with Cordia's new outfit, courtesy of Viconia as well. I had to remember to like loot her body before talking to her, otherwise she walks off with it and you don't get like the stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna go and get my kid who is on the way back from college, and yeah, and we'll see more of Shadowheart and her relationship with her parents and that whole thing. I'm really happy with that decision because I have a plan. You need to trust me. Also the decision to let Viconia go. Maybe I'm going somewhere with this. Maybe I had a plan all along. Okay, I'm gonna go. Take care of your faces. Bye.
I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me
Is this part of the show? Praise the absolute.